Welcome, Wildcat fans. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I'm broadcasting live from Lisbon tonight, where the Wildcats are taking on the Lisbon Lions. Um, and before we talk about tonight's varsity game, we've got some JV boys going on right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up the last part of this game. In Lisbon, they're using one gym tonight, and so the girls will tip off here probably, I'm guessing, in about another half hour, 20 minutes or so. Um, so right now, we've got about 4.5 minutes to go in the JV game. The girls started the night at 4:30 with a victory, and now the JV boys are playing. And then again, when they're finished, the varsity girls will get started, and then they'll be followed by the varsity boys here. So sometimes it makes for a longer night when you use just one gym. And right now, like I said, we're down to about 4 minutes to go here in the boys JV game, and Lisbon's up 36-20. Right now on the floor for the Wildcats, we have Greif and Marcus Prusman and Troy Curtis and Draven Silver. And Braden is out there for the Wildcats. And they just shot and missed the ball, so Lisbon has the ball right now. They're moving around. The ball's on the top of the key, down inside, defended by Troy Curtis. And Lisbon's dribbling underneath the basket and throws it out of bounds. It's going to be Wildcat basketball again. It's 20-36. There's 3:15 left here in the fourth quarter of the boys JV game, and then we'll get started with the varsity girls contest after their warm up here. So again, they're not going to get tipped off quite at 6 like they normally do. So the Wildcats have Caden Howard dribbling baseline, and he gets it knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Wildcats. Get some subs checking in here for the Lions. Braden's going to pass it in here, and he's looking at Troy. Curtis is not going to be able to get it in. Finally does get it in, and then it's stolen by the Lions. And the Lions are going to shoot up a two-pointer, no good. Knocked around, and the Lions are going to get the offensive rebound. And there's going to be a foul on the Wildcats. And Wildcats have a couple other people checking in. It looks like Tristan Dedeker is going to come in, and Dakota Little. Trident Bowen's in for the Wildcats. Colt Nowatzki. On the floor for the Wildcats. Wildcats have the ball. Got about 2.5 minutes to go. And Tristan Dedeker dribbles the ball, and it gets stolen away. Lions are going to bring it up. Again, it's 20-36. This is the boys' JV game. There's a two-pointer by the Lions. Makes it 38-20. Tristan Dedeker with the ball. Being trapped. Gets it to Trident Bowen, who gets it to Dakota Little. Little gets it up the floor, but is stolen away by the Lions, and they're going to take it in for a layup, and they miss it. Knocked out of bounds by Tristan Dedeker, and I think it's going to stay with the Lions. And it's passed in bounds. Lions working around the perimeter. We've got about 1:45 here left of the JV games, 38-20. If you're joining and thinking you're going to hear the JV or the varsity girls, we're playing in one gym tonight, so the varsity girls contest start time is going to be pushed back a little bit as the JV boys finish up here. And Braden takes it in and misses, and it is rebounded by the Lions. And there's going to be a quick timeout by Lisbon. We have 1:22 left in the fourth quarter, and it's 40-20. Lisbon Lions are up. And again, as I mentioned, if you're joining in and wondering why the JV or the varsity girls aren't playing, we're getting this JV game wrapped up. While I have this opportunity, and we will talk more about these, but I'd like to give a shout out to Next Bank. Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Again, we'd like to thank Next Bank for being the sole sponsor of the Wildcat Sports channel. We've got Ashton Ritzy checking in here. Dakota Little, Colton Nowatzki, Tristan Diedeker, and Tridon Bowen on the floor. Lions are going to take it out of bounds there in the backcourt. And they're going to pass it in, and Wildcats are in a man-to-man defense here. They're down 20 right here at the end of the fourth quarter. Lions go up with a shot, no good. Ashton Ritzy with the rebound for the Wildcats. He's going to bring the ball up the floor. And gets it over to Bowen. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Wildcats. Tridon Bowen's going to pass it inbounds to Ashton Ritzy. Ashton's checking things out, gets it over to Bowen. Bowen pounces it in to Colton Nowatzki. Colton looks, gets it out to Ritzy. Ritzy goes over to Diedeker. Diedeker dribbles to the top of the key. The Wildcats look a little confused, and they're out of their spacing there. Bowen's got the ball. And it's a steal by the Lions, and they're going to take it down and knock down a two-pointer. 42-20 with 30 seconds left, so the Wildcats are going to try to get the ball up the floor here. Gets it over to Bowen. Bowen's checking things out. Back to Ritzy. Ritzy gets it to Tristan Diedeker, who dribbles in, throws it up, and is going to be fouled as he took it to the rim. So Tristan's going to shoot 2 free throws. 16 seconds left, 20-42. Lisbon Lions are up. Just the JV boys basketball game. The varsity girls will be starting shortly. Tristan's first free throw is off. And he will take a look here, a couple dribbles, and he goes with his next free throw and misses, and rebounded by the Lions. And the Lions are probably going to let it run out. There's 10 seconds left. And Colton Nowatzki defending that, and the shot goes up, and it's a rebound by Ritzy, and that's going to be the ball game. So it's 42-20 is the final score in the Lisbon 42, Central City 20 in the JV boys basketball game. So again, if you're just joining us and think you're going to be listening to the girls varsity, that game will probably get started in approximately 15 minutes or so here, as soon as the boys clear off the floor and the girls will get their warm-ups going. The Lisbon girls are already out here, as well are the Central City Wildcats. And I'm assuming they'll put about 15, 16 minutes up there on the clock, and then we'll get going on our warm-ups. So again, I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I'm live from Lisbon tonight, and obviously the Wildcats are taking on the Lisbon Lions. And as always, we want to thank our sponsor, Next Bank. Next Bank is your bank for what's next, your next car, next home, next business, next phase of life, or next adventure. 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Corville, and Waterloo. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So the both teams are out here warming up, and looks like we're going to be tipping off in just under 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about tonight's basketball game. Though, just real briefly here, we'll touch on the Lions first. Lisbon's coming into tonight's matchup with a 2-2 record. They beat Midland for their first game of the year 51-34, and then they also beat Starmont earlier a week or so ago, 51-39. So those are their 2 wins, and they have a loss against East Buchanan. They got beat 14-70. East Buchanan's got a nice team this year. I think I saw that they're rated, so the Wildcats haven't faced East Buck yet, so we'll have to see how we fare against them. So that was the first loss for Lisbon, and then last Saturday they played Springville, and they got beat 27-62. So they're 2-2 coming into tonight's game. Just real quick, some names you're probably going to hear. McKenna Nelson, leading scorer, averaging 9.5 points a game, and Sarah Ruzicka, who's averaging 8.8 points a game. So those are their 2 leaders on offense. On defense, leading them in rebounds is Taylor Techow. She's got 25 rebounds for the season, and then Blair Baltus has 20 rebounds. So on the defensive end, as far as rebounding, probably hear those names for the Lisbon Lions. So it's just kind of a quick look at them. And as far as the Wildcats got their first win last Friday night. We played Cedar Valley Christian, and the Wildcats were able to come away with a victory 57-22, so that was nice to see. The Wildcats started off the season with Springville, so that's the one common opponent that we have with with Lisbon, and we lost to Springville in our home opener 33-46, so by about 13 points, and Lisbon lost 62-27. So either Springville's really improved, or maybe Lisbon's not where we are. So let's hope that that's the case and that we're a little better there. So that's kind of encouraging, but it doesn't matter what records are or what scores are. You've got to go out and you got to compete, and we've just got to take care of business. So we'll see how we go with that. So that's just our common opponent. So as I mentioned, we're 1-3 coming into tonight's game. Lost to Springville in our home opener. Then we had a competitive game with Central Elkader. We're leading at halftime, and then came out a little cold the second half and ended up losing 40-52. Then we kind of hit a buzzsaw with Marquette Catholic. Marquette Catholic had some big bodies in there that we weren't able to contend with, and really got hurt on the offensive boards in the first half. Cody Ratliff and myself, we called that game, and realistically that was the difference in the game in the first half. Were those probably 8 or 9 offensive rebounds that Marquette was able to put back for 2 points. And so in the second half we played pretty even actually, but we just weren't able to overcome that. And so we played some initial good defense. It was just not taking care of boxing out. And as I mentioned, Marquette Catholic had about three post-sized girls down there, and we just weren't strong enough to rebound against them. So hopefully, and like I mentioned, I thought the girls came out and actually scored 57 points the other night. That's their season high. And it was nice to see Sarah Reed and Emma Fritcher both had double-digit games last Friday, so we'll see if they can keep it going. So just kind of taking a look at some of the offensive and defensive stats for the Wildcats. And I already mentioned both of these girls' names, but Sarah Reed is coming into tonight's game leading the Wildcats in scoring. Sarah's averaging 11.3 points a game. Her field goal percentage is 37.5. I know Sarah probably wants to get that up a little bit. And kind of unusual, she's 3 for 8 from the free throw line with 37.5% there too. So Sarah's a much better shooter than that. And I'm guessing that free throw percentage is going to climb up as the season goes on. Emma Fritcher then is going to come in as the Wildcats' second leading scorer. She's averaging 9.8 points a game. She's shooting 42% from the field, so that's a pretty good percentage. And she's 50% from the free throw line. So again, Emma's got a pretty nice shot. So I'm guessing that hopefully that percentage will go up as Emma shoots more free throws and gets more comfortable as the season goes on. Then we have Tesla Malloy, new player this year. Her dad is actually the coach, and she comes in averaging 6.5 points a game, and she's shooting around 36%, so not terrible. Probably would like to have that a little higher. And she's leading the team in in three-point attempts. She's 6 for 18 at 33%. So again, probably like to see that go up a little bit. And as she gets more comfortable into this offense, hopefully that percentage will go up. And then you have Emma Treidel, 4 points a game, and she's second leading in three-point attempts, 4 for 17, so 23.5. So again, kind of a percentage that I'm sure Emma's going to want to go up, as well as just her individual field goal percentage. As a team, I guess we are shooting 30% from the field. Again, coach would probably like to see that a little higher. Free three-point line, 20%. Again, probably a little higher. And then even free throws, we're not really a very good free throw shooting team right now. We're shooting 40%. So I'm sure that's something that Coach Malloy's been addressing, and hopefully we'll see that percentage go up as the season goes on. Defensively, we've got Sarah Reed and Emma Fritcher leading again. Sarah Reed's leading the team with 32 rebounds, 23 defensive and 9 offensive, and then Emma Fritcher is second with 19 rebounds, and she's got 10 offensive rebounds and 9 defense. So Emma actually has more offensive rebounds than she does defensive rebounds, which is pretty impressive. She's also, her and Emma Fritcher and Sarah Ashley are leading the Wildcats with 10 steals each. So I've actually been impressed that I have been pretty aggressive on defense, and we've been doing a little pressing, and some of that is because of the score, but actually I've been impressed with some of the quickness and some of the stuff that I've seen defensively. It's just, again, the other night it came down to rebounding. So we've got about 7 minutes to go here, and the Wildcats are in the locker room getting their last instructions. The Lions are still putting up some shots here. The Lions are the home team, and they're dressed in their white uniforms. They got black on the shoulder, red numbers, and black stripes down the side of their white shorts. And the Wildcats are in their road red uniforms with black numbers. And again, they're in getting their last minute instructions with about 6:45 left to go before we get this game going. So again, back to the rebounds, we have Sarah with 32, Emma Fritcher's 10 offensive, 9 defensive, and 19. And then we've got Emma Treidel in there with 15 rebounds. She's got 11 defensive rebounds. And then Sarah Ashley, probably one of the shorter girls on the floor. Sarah is listed at 5'2", actually the shortest Wildcat, and she's fourth in rebounding. She's got 7 defensive rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds, so pretty impressive stat there. A lot of that kind of goes to hustle. A lot of that, she is a guard, and a lot of teams do like to shoot threes, so sometimes those threes rebound and get the long rebound, and she's being able to stay in position to do that. So good for her, Sarah Ashley. Another new player, a new name. If some of you Wildcat fans aren't used, don't think that name sounds familiar. I'm not exactly know the history of Sarah Ashley, but she is a sophomore, and I do believe she came from Marion, that she moved into the district. So it's nice to pick up a pretty athletic player here. Wildcats are back out on the floor again in their road red uniforms. We've got about 5 minutes to go. After the girls' game then, obviously we'll have the boys' varsity basketball game. And the Central City Wildcats come into tonight's game 3-0. Got a 3-game win streak going here at the beginning of the season. So that's exciting. And we'll talk more about the guys here in between games. Wildcat girls, again, are looking to put together. They got their first win the other night and trying to put together back-to-back wins here. It'd be nice to get these wins. The way the basketball schedule looks, tonight we're at Lisbon, and then on Friday, the basketball teams will be traveling to Easton Valley. It's a long trip that will not be broadcast. Then the following week, we have Tuesday off, actually. There are no games on Tuesday, which is kind of a traditional basketball night. But we do have a home game on Thursday, December 19th against Midland, and we will broadcast that live on the Wildcat Sports Network, or channel. And then Friday, the last day of school before Christmas break starts, the Wildcats will be traveling to Alburnett to take on the Pirates, and we will broadcast that game. So we've got tonight's game and then 3 other games before Christmas break, and all of those games except for the Easton Valley game will be broadcast. So Wildcat fans, if you can't make it to one of those games, or if you know family or friends that would like to listen in, make sure you let them know, and those games will be broadcast live. So we've got about 3 minutes here before we get ready for the tip-off. While I have this minute, want to mention again Next Bank. Next Bank, what are you saving for, whether it's retirement, your child's education, a new car, or just a rainy day? Next Bank has the right savings account for whatever's next for you. Next Bank is committed to help you achieve what's next for your financial dreams. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So again, Wildcat girls 1 and 3, Lisbon Lions 2 and 2. We've had one common opponent against Springville, and Springville beat both of us. I feel like we had a little more competitive game with them, but we'll see what happens here. Wrestling is underway, and I have to apologize. I know there's a tournament this Saturday, and I can't remember where it's at. And we had some wrestlers wrestle last weekend, and I'm not sure. I didn't hear the results. And we don't have a big squad, but we do have some guys that are out working hard. And I'll try to, the next broadcast, have a little more information on the wrestling team and how things are going with them. And tonight's the elementary concert. So if you're at the elementary concert and you have an earbud, you can listen to the game here in about 2 minutes before we hit tip-off. And so there's the elementary winter concert. A lot of things going on at school. We have junior high girls basketball still has a couple games left. They played Northland last night and unfortunately did not come up victorious. They still have 2 games left before the end of their season wraps up here. And then when we start after Christmas break, the boys junior high season will start, and maybe we'll try to get a couple of those games on there. I know David Warrington did a couple of the girls junior high games, and he's a sports announcer in the making, and we may be able to get him to do a junior high game if it works out for his schedule. So we got robotics in full swing, and haven't really heard if they've gotten into competitions yet. I know they're practicing and working on building their robots and getting things to work right. I'm not exactly sure. I should do a better job, and I will do that the next time we have a broadcast next week. I'll make sure I have better information just to fill in the Wildcat fans, whether you're at school every day or have a son or daughter, or just down in Florida enjoying that warm weather. We can keep you updated on what's going on at the school with all the different activities. We have a lot of kids working hard in a lot of different activities, and so we want to make sure that they get promoted so that everybody knows what's going on. So we're getting ready here for the starting lineups. Wildcats are probably going to be starting Lily Kramer and Sarah Reed, I'm guessing. So here,
starting lineups for tonight's girls varsity game. For the Wildcats, number 1, Lily Kramer.
Lily Kramer for the Wildcats.
And for the Lions, number
Lily's a
33,
5'6" senior. Serena Moffitt
for Central City, number 2,
starts
Sarah Ashley.
for Lisbon, who's a freshman. Then Sarah Ashley for the Wildcats,
And
sophomore.
for Lisbon, number 31, Peyton Robinson.
Peyton Robinson, 5'7" freshman. So there's 2 freshmen for
the Wildcats, number 3, Emma Tridle.
Emma Tridle's in the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Emma's a junior, 5'8" junior.
1, Callie Nelson.
Callie Nelson, another freshman. Young team here for the Lions.
For the Wildcats, number 13, Emma Fritcher.
Emma Fritcher in the starting lineup there for the Wildcats. Emma's a 5'10" junior.
And for Lisbon, number 15, Sarah Ruzika.
Sarah Ruzika, junior, 5'4", starter for the Lions.
And for the Wildcats, number 25, Sarah Reed.
And then Sarah Reed for the Wildcats, obviously.
And for Lisbon, number 10, McKenna Nelson.
And number 10, McKenna Nelson, senior, 5'5", for the Lions. We're going to do the national anthem here real quick. I was going to see who 22 was. Where's Lisbon's girls? Who's their number 22? Do they have a 22? Okay, I don't know who it is. All right, so here we go, getting ready. We got the Wildcats again. Starters for the Wildcats are going to be Emma Fritcher, Sarah Reed, Sarah Ashley, Lily Kramer, and Emma Tridle. And so we're getting ready to tip. Emma Fritcher is going to go up against number 30. Their numbers don't match up, so I'm not going to have the names for all of the Lions, but I guess Wildcat fans, we don't really care what their name is. So Wildcats get the tip, and Lily Kramer's going to bring it into the front court, and the Lions look like they're in, looks maybe like a 1-2-2 maybe, I'm not sure. And there's nice high-low from Sarah Reed to Emma Fritcher, and misses the layup. That would have been a great way to start the game, but hopefully we can come back to that. Wildcats have been playing a 1-3-1, and they're still sticking in that. They got Emma Fritcher up at the top of the key there, and hopefully she's going to cause some problems here for the Lions. The Lions get it down to the baseline, and they get it back up to the top, checking things out. and it goes out of bounds. And number 12 is going to pass it in. And the Wildcats get the ball, and it goes over to Lily Kramer. And Lily Kramer's checking things out. Looks like maybe Lisbon's in a man-to-man. And Sarah Reed with the look, and then a weak pass inside is going to be knocked out of bounds by the Lions. And the Wildcats will keep the ball. Emma Fritcher's going to pass it in, and there's a pass to Emma Fritcher in and out on the three-point attempt. Emma with Trital, I'm sorry. Fritcher gets the offensive rebound and misses the putback, so we're still at 0-0. So we'll see here if defensively the Wildcats can get something going, get some steals, get some easy buckets here. So there's a give and go. Again, the Wildcats are in their 1-3-1 zone. Lisbon passes it over to the right side. They're looking inside. There's a skip pass over to the left. Going to take the shot. And there's an offensive rebound. And there's a foul on the putback. The foul's going to be on Sarah Ashley of the Wildcats. Her first foul, first team foul for the Wildcats. And there's the first free throw. It's up and good, so it's 6:18 left in the first quarter. It's 1-0 Lions. And the second free throw is going to be up and short, and Emma Fritcher gets a rebound. Emma's got about 3 rebounds already. On the offensive end, we'd like to see her knock those putbacks down. There's a pass to Fritcher out on the wing. And they're going to call her for a travel. So the Wildcats are going to drop back half court into the 1-3-1. Lisbon's going to go ahead and bring it up into the front court. Looking things around here. She dribbles, gets it to the wing. There's a 3-point attempt, no good. Rebound by Lily Kramer. Lily Kramer's going to push the ball up, gets it into the front court. And again, I think the Lions are playing man-to-man, so I really think the Wildcats can do some damage against this if they're patient and run their offense. So we've got Sarah Ashley looking around. There's Lily Kramer. She gets it into Sarah Reed, back to Lily. Lily looks, gets it to Sarah Ashley. Not a lot of movement here. I'd like to see maybe a little more movement. They're not sure what they're doing. Just passing Lily Kramer and Sarah Ashley, just passing it back and forth. There's a high-low from Sarah to Fritcher, and then Fritcher's going to kick it out to Lily Kramer, who does a little runner, misses it. Oh, yes! Sarah Reed with the offensive rebound and put back in the foul, and the basket's going to count. So Sarah Reed with a nice offensive rebound and finishes that, even though somebody was hanging on her arm. So it's going to be 2-1 with 5:14 left. Tesla Malloy's going to check in for Sarah Ashley. It's the first substitute of the game for the Wildcats. Sarah Reed's at the free throw line, and she puts it up and no good. And so Sarah's struggling a little bit from that free throw line this year, and hopefully she can get things settled down, and those are big points that we want to get. There's another rebound by Emma Fritcher. This time, again, Lily Kramer's going to look to push it up the floor a little bit. And the Wildcats are going to get set up, and there's the pass from Malloy into Reed and back out to Kramer and over to Malloy, and Malloy shoots it up and misses. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Lisbon's basketball. And Lisbon brings it up into the front court. Again, the Wildcats are in the 1-3-1 zone. And there's a pass to the right wing, down to the right baseline. There's the shot, three-pointer, good by the Lions. And I guess that was McKenna Nelson. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm not sure who that was. The numbers from Quick Stats don't match the numbers on the uniforms for the Lions, so I'm not really going to have any names for you there. So hopefully there's no Lisbon Lion people listening tonight. And there's Emma Fritcher gets the ball inside. She turns, kicks it back out to Malloy. Malloy gets it to Reed on the left-hand baseline. Nice little 8-foot shot there by Sarah Reed. Knocks it down with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's 4-4. And there's a pass over to the baseline. The Lions dribble down, get it inside, and there's a shot. Could have been a travel, blocked by Emma Fritcher. Lily Kramer's going to bring the ball up, get into the front court again now. The Lions look like, I'm not sure if they're man-to-man or if they're in a 2-3 zone. Nobody's moving, so I can't, it looks like man-to-man. A lot of standing around here by the Wildcats. Need to pass and cut a little bit, get some motion on that defense. Tesla Malloy dribbles, gets it out to Sarah Reed. There's Sarah Reed with the baseline shot. Miss. Offensive rebound by Malloy. She gets it to Lily Kramer, and then Malloy gets the ball back and passes it inside to Fritcher, and it's going to be a turnover, a steal by the Lions. They're going to be in the front court now. And there's a pass inside by the Lions, stolen away by the Wildcats. Emma Treidel comes up with it, tipped by Fritcher. Lily Kramer comes into the front court. And she's looking things over there. That's Kramer at the top of the key, back to Treidel on the right-hand side, down into Sarah Reed. Sarah gets it to Lily Kramer, top of the key. She shoots, no good. A rebound by Lisbon. Lisbon on the fast break. They pass up a 2 for a 3. It's no good. Sarah Reed with the rebound. She gets it to Lily Kramer. Lily gets it into the front court. And checking things out, gets it over to Treidel. Treidel's looking, back to Lily Kramer. Over to Malloy. Malloy's looking and hits Sarah Reed on the cut. And nice shot, left-handed shot there by Sarah Reed, high off the backboard. It drops in. So that's 6-4 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Wildcats up. The Lions dribble in right into traffic, and they're going to call jump ball. Emma Fritcher ties up the ball handler there. The Wildcats definitely have a height advantage, and so when the Lions dribble inside like that, it's to the Wildcats' benefit. We've got Sarah Reed and Emma Fritcher down there, and they outsize the Lions a little bit with their height. So Lions are working it around. They do get it inside, and 30 tries to dribble around Sarah, and there's Sarah. This time it's Emma Treidel with the jump ball, and it's going to be our ball this time. So Fritcher gets it into Malloy. Malloy's going to bring it up into the front court. And she gets it over to the left-hand side. Lily Kramer's checking things out. Sarah Reed comes up to the elbow. She turns and gets it over to Treidel. Treidel gets to Malloy on the right-hand baseline. Back up to Lily Kramer at the top of the key. She dribbles, dishes it to Sarah Reed on that left baseline. Sarah likes that left baseline. She knocks that down, and it's going to be 8-4. Wildcats ahead. We've got about 1 minute here in the first quarter. And the Lisbon lets fly, and it hits off the back of the rim, and it's going to go off the Lions, and it's going to be Wildcat basketball. So we've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Wildcats have it. Wildcats get it into the front court. Tess Malloy picks up her dribble and gets it over to the right-hand side to Treidel, and she gets it to Fritcher with a nice look down into Sarah Reed. Just comes up short with her shot, and the Lisbon brings it up quickly, and nice bounce pass, but take the basket off the scoreboard because there was a travel before the pass. We've got some subs here. We've got Reed still on the floor with Lily Kramer, Sarah Ashley, Malloy, and Emma Fritcher for the Wildcats. Lisbon bringing in some new people. And Tessa Malloy brings it in. We've got about 40 seconds left in the first quarter. See if the Wildcats can't get something here. Build on their lead a little bit. Nice job. Emma Fritcher did a great job of penetrating into the middle of the lane. The defender came and stopped her. It was Sarah Reed's, and Emma dropped the ball off to Sarah for a nice, easy basket. Like that motion there. So Wildcats are going to play some D here in the last. Oh, they're going to call foul on that. Sarah Reed looked like she had position, and the offensive player just ran right into her, but they're going to call Sarah. Yeah, I thought he said 22, but Sarah's 25. I'm not sure who he called that even foul on, to be honest, because we don't even have a 22 out on the floor. And the official scores aren't asking, so I'm not sure who they gave that foul to, if they're just assuming it was on Sarah. So that's weird. So the Lisbon goes to the free throw line, knocks down the free throws. So it's 10-6 with 17 seconds left. And there's Emma Fritcher with the ball, gets it to Lily Kramer. Lily, nice crossover move. And there's a lot of reaching going on, but nothing called. Tesla Malloy's going to take it in, and at the buzzer, nope. Took an extra step, and she made the basket, but didn't get the shot off before the buzzer. So after one, it's going to be 10-6. It's going to be 10-6 Wildcats. Just want to give a quick shout out here to Next Bank. What's next on your list of financial goals wherever you're going next? Next Bank has a loan that's right for you. Your next car, your next home, even your next adventure. All are within reach with the Next Bank loan. Convenient locations in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We've got a couple people listening in here. We've got Keith Knight from Florida, Sarah Reed's uncle, and Keegan Kula says, "Let's go Cats," listening into the broadcast even though he's sitting in the gym. I like that commitment to the Wildcat cast there, Keegan. So Wildcats got off, had some pretty good looks there. We've missed a couple easy buckets. We could easily be up by another 4 or 6 points, but we look best when we're making some movement out there. Gotten a couple possessions where it's just kind of been a little stagnant and we haven't been able to get anything to go. So hopefully the Wildcats are getting things figured out. So we've got Tessa Malloy and Lily Kramer. Natalie Noonan has checked in, and then Sarah Reed and Emma Fritcher right now on the floor for the Wildcats. And the Lisbon Lion dribbles right around the Wildcats. Shot goes up, no good, tries to get her offensive rebound, and it goes out of bounds. So Lisbon's attacking the basket even though Wildcats have a little bit of a size advantage. So the Wildcats get it in the front court. Kramer's on the left baseline, checking things out, gets to the top of the key to Noonan, over to Fritcher. Fritcher's looking around, gets it to Sarah Reed, and they're going to call the Lions with a foul there. And the Wildcats are going to pass it in bounds. And Natalie Noonan looking in, kicks it back out. Got Sarah passing it to Natalie. Natalie makes a move, turns around, kicks it back out to Malloy. Malloy's going to put up a long three, hits the front of the rim. Kind of lost some patience there. We were working the ball, just keep working it. Nice offensive rebound by Natalie Noonan. Actually, the Lions had the rebound probably, and Natalie came up behind and stole the ball. Tesla Malloy kind of forcing it into Noonan. Wildcats are able to keep possession. Fritcher's looking around. I like the Wildcats are passing, they're cutting, they're making the Lions play defense. And as long as you're not forcing it, there's a nice Lily Kramer drives, kicks it out to Fritcher. Fritcher with the shot and the air ball. Fritcher should have looked to go back door a little bit there, but nice movement, and the Wildcats will get those things figured out. Lisbon brings it down, couple dribbles, and they launch a three-pointer, and they're going to call an offensive, well, it's not an offensive rebound, but it's a rebound, or it's a foul on the rebound against 42. So that's going to be Lisbon's third team foul, and the Wildcats have 2 team fouls. So we've got Emma Treidel checking back in, Sarah Reed still on the floor, Natalie Noonan and Fritcher and Lily Kramer. So we'll see what the Wildcats can do here. Emma Treidel's got a dead ball. She gets it to Sarah Reed at the top of the key. Sarah, nice pass to the cutting Treidel. And Treidel, let him play. Treidel takes it in for a layup and gets bumped and misses and comes down and battling the Lisbon girl for the rebound, and they call Emma for the foul. I would have liked to have just seen them play a little basketball right there. I don't think either one had advantage. But it goes to the Lions, and that's going to be a foul on Emma. So 3-team fouls apiece. And the Lions are dribbling it in against the zone, and it looks like by her look, yep, Emma Tridle just picked up her second foul. Wildcats are playing a 1-3-1 zone, and they're letting the Lions dribble around them a little bit. They need to move their feet just a little bit and take that dribble penetration away from the Lions. So there's a free throw. It's up and good. So that's going to be 10-7. And the second free throw is good. And we're going to have Tesla Malloy checking back in. Emma Tridle's going to have to sit down with those 2 fouls. So Lily Kramer gets it to Malloy. Malloy's going to drive. She gets underneath the basket and turns the ball over, but then it's stolen back, tipped by Natalie Noonan and picked up by Lily Kramer. So the Wildcats are going to stay down here. Malloy with the shot, short, and the Lions get the rebound. So again, there's a pass to the baseline, and there's going to be a 3-pointer by the Lions. So Wildcats come out cold this second quarter, and just like that, the Lions are up 11-10. So Wildcats need to get some offense going here. Need to stay spread out. There's a hand, yeah. The Lions are really riding Sarah as she cuts, and they finally call an off-the-ball foul there, and that's going to be 32's second foul for the Lions, so she's probably going to have to come out. The Lions sub in 3 new people. Each team has 4 team fouls, and we're at 4:56 in the second quarter. And Malloy gets the ball inbounds, passes over to Sarah Reed. Sarah dribbles baseline, nothing there, gets it to Lily Kramer. Lily thinks about it, dribbles, pulls it back out, gets it to Fritcher. Fritcher dribbles, gets it inside, nice. Sarah Reed posting up there, and Fritcher dribbles in and just dumps it down over to Reed, who knocks down a 2-point shot. So let's see if we can't get the defense going and maybe get a couple steals here for the Wildcats. There again, instead of moving our feet, both girls just stopped and let the dribbler go by him, and then they both reached, and so there's going to be a foul on the Wildcats. Didn't catch who they called that on, and they're not putting the player fouls up, so I'm not sure. It looks like 23, so that's Malloy. That's her first foul. Again, you got to play defense with your feet. There's a shot from the right baseline by the Lions, rebounded by Natalie Noonan. Wildcats get the ball up in the front court. Fritcher has it on the left baseline, looking inside, nothing there. Get the ball back out to the top of the key to Malloy. She dribbles to the left, pulls it back out, gets it up to Lily Kramer, checking things out from the top of the key, and then she dribbles to her left, and she's going to take it all the way in and draw a foul. Nice drive by Kramer. That's going to be the 5th team foul on Lisbon, so both teams have 5 team fouls. And Lily Kramer's free throw is up and no good. So she'll have another one. She did get fouled on the shot. And there's her second one, up and good. So the Wildcats take a 2-point lead, 13-11 with 3:50 left in the second quarter. Whoa, there's a travel by the Lions. Got Emma Fritcher, who's going to pass it in here. She gets it into Malloy. Malloy's looking into the front court here. The Wildcats are spread out. They're playing against the man-to-man defense of the Lions. There's a dribble. Gets it over to Noonan. Noonan drives in. No call. Natalie gets knocked down. Gets back up, and the Wildcats retain possession. Kramer at the top of the key. She looks to drive. Kicks it back out to Noonan. Noonan across court to Malloy. Malloy drives to the left. Nothing there. Malloy still dribbling. There's a nice cut by Lily Kramer. Nothing there. Emma Fritcher picks it up and shoots and misses. And the Lions are going to bring it into the front court. And they get it in, kick it out. And now they kick it back into the free throw line, and the girl dribbles. And Natalie Noonan's just a little late on getting down there on that rotation on that 1-3-1, and is going to be called for the foul. So that's going to be the 6th team foul. First foul on Natalie. And the free throw is no good for the Lions. They're going to say she fouled her in the act of shooting. Second shot's going to go up and no good. Or I'm sorry, that one is good. I was hoping it would be no good. So Wildcats get the ball into the front court, and then Coach Malloy takes a timeout. So with 2:49 left, it's going to be 13-12. Wildcats are up by 1. We need to get things going offensively here. Want to give a shout out to Next Bank. Next Bank represents a new approach to banking in Iowa, expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. If you want to take your banking to the next level, Next Bank is for you. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So after a 10-6 first quarter, we are now at 13-12, so the Lions are outscoring the Wildcats here. Hopefully the Wildcats their motion is a lot better. They're doing a good job of dribbling and kicking it back, so hopefully we can knock down some of those inside shots and take advantage a little bit of our height. So the Lions are still in that man-to-man. Again, I think the Wildcats can really do something against that. And then there's a turnover. Malloy with a bad pass. Goes right between Sarah Reed's legs and out of bounds. So the Lions are going to get it in, pass it inbounds, and get it into the front court. Wildcats look like they're just in a 2-3 zone now. They went out of the 1-3-1. There's a dribble in and back to the top of the key, then to the baseline with a three-pointer, no good. Hits off of Malloy's hands, and it goes to the Lions. Lions on this side, on the right-hand side, passes up the three-pointer. Number 10 did, and then as she dribbled it right out of bounds. So good job for the Wildcats. So Emma Fritcher gets it into Lily Kramer. Sarah Ashley has checked in for Tesla Malloy. Lily Kramer checking things out, gets a pick by Sarah Reed, goes to the right. She kicks it back to Sarah Reed, who came, and nice job. Sarah set the pick. Lily dribbled down, didn't have anything, turned, kicked it back to Sarah, who kind of followed her and knocked down about a 10-foot shot. Like seeing that. Now the Wildcats are still in that 2-3 zone. Kind of putting a little pressure out here on the top. It's not a true double team, but they're coming out and they're making them work. Number 10's dribbling all the way around and didn't see what was going on, and Sarah Ashley comes in and gets a steal. I like her energy that she brings on the floor. Wildcats have the ball in the front court. Spread out here. Noonan on the right-hand side. She's looking. Nothing there. Back to the top of the key to Lily Kramer. Gets it over to Sarah Ashley. Sarah Ashley looking. Lily Kramer dribbles. Nothing there. Gets it to Sarah Ashley. Ashley to the top of the key. Kramer goes down the baseline to Sarah Reed. Gets it inside to Emma Fritcher. A nice strong move by Emma Fritcher. She stepped in and had contact and went up strong with it and finished. That's what I like to see from Emma. She had a couple looks earlier and she was just kind of soft with it, but that time she went with some authority. And that's what Emma Fritcher can do. Her and Sarah can really do a lot of damage down low, I think. So that's going to make it 17-12 with 1:10 left, and Emma Fritcher is going to go to the line for a three-point play here. And the shot is up and a little long, and Sarah Reed, what are they going to say? Sarah Reed had it, and then the Lisbon girl reached in, and they're going to say that it's a jump ball, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to keep it. So Wildcats get the ball back and have a chance here to get another two-point basket. It'll be a 4-point possession here. And Fritcher gets it into Noonan. Noonan looks, she travels. And so the Wildcats turn it over, aren't able to take advantage of that. We've got a minute to go here in the second quarter. It's 12-17 Wildcats. Lisbon's going to push the ball up into the front court, and they get it in, then they kick it back out to the top key. They swing it over to the left-hand side, dribble around, and it's knocked out of bounds, or I'm sorry, knocked out of the Lions' hands. And the Wildcats just about had it, and the Lions picked it up, but then they called the Lions for traveling. So Wildcats are going to get the ball back with 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Ashley brings the ball up into the front court. Wildcats are spread out, playing against that man-to-man of the Lions. Ashley's looking, not much movement. I'm not sure. I don't really like this set. We don't get much movement with the guards. There's a pass into Sarah. Kicks it back out to Noonan. Noonan brings it to the top of the key to Ashley. She swings it over to Treidel, who's checked in with 2 fouls, so hopefully Treidel's smart. Ashley dribbles. Knocked out of her hands, picked up by Noonan. Noonan's checking things out. Noonan tries to dribble. Nothing there. There's a pass to Fritcher. Fritcher's going to drive and gets tripped up, but they don't call anything, and so the ball goes out of bounds. And with 11 seconds, to go, the Lions are going to get a chance here, and the Wildcats go smartly into a full court press. Hopefully they move their feet enough that they don't get called for a foul. And there's Sarah, knocks it just about out of bounds, but to another Lion, and the shot goes up and the buzzer goes off, and it's no good. So nice quarter there by the Wildcats. They bounced back. The Lions actually took the lead there. The Lions took the lead, and then the Wildcats came back and knocked down a couple baskets. So at halftime, we've got a 17-12 game, and hopefully the Wildcats, the Lions have stayed in that man-to-man the whole first half, and there's one set that the Wildcats are trying to get Sarah. I think they're trying to do like a high-low, but just it's not working in the man-to-man. There's just not enough movement, too much standing around. But when they've gotten to their other sets where they're passing and cutting and doing some dribbling, I really like the way the Wildcats offense looks then. So we haven't hit a three-pointer yet. We've had a couple looks. Treidel's, I think, maybe shot one, and Tesla Malloy's shot a couple, but we just haven't been able to get anything consistent with our offense. So hopefully get some adjustments in there and get some things figured out, and can continue with this lead. As far as scoring goes, Sarah Reed is leading the Wildcats with 14 points. And she's got 14 points. And Fritcher, I believe, has 2 points. And I know Kramer had 1 point, so I'm not sure who is that other point. Oh, that's it. 14 points for Sarah Reed. Fritcher had that basket right there at the end, missed her free throw, and Lily Kramer made 1 free throw. So that's the scoring in the first half, and it's not going to be what Coach Malloy wants. I don't think he wants just 3 people, and I don't think we expect. It's nice to see Sarah knocking down 14, but we're definitely going to need some other people chipping in. We need Tessa Malloy, as I mentioned, is I think our 3rd leading scorer, and she hasn't scored yet tonight, and probably who's taken the most 3-pointers. And so we need to have her get going. We need Fritcher to get going. Fritcher comes into tonight's game, and she's averaging, I mentioned this at the top of the game, Emma Fritcher's averaging 9.8, almost 10 points a game, and she's got 2 right now. So we need Emma to pick that up, and Tesla Malloy's averaging almost 7 points, and she hasn't scored. So if we can get Tesla and Emma Fritcher going there and get to their averages, and then have some of these other people chip in, we should be okay. So hopefully they'll make some adjustments. Defensively, we started in the 1-3-1, and then we went out of that about halfway through the first quarter, or maybe the start of the second quarter, and we went into the 2-3. We do have a height advantage against Lisbon, but I feel like we're letting them get more dribble penetration than they should on a zone. Our girls need to realize when you're playing a zone and you're defending the ball, it's almost like you're man-to-man with them. You can't just let them dribble around you. So hopefully defensively we did hold them to 12 points, which isn't bad. 6 points in the first and the second quarters, obviously. But again, I feel like they're getting some shot attempts that they really shouldn't even get if we kind of move our feet and play a little better defense out there. And so hopefully they'll make those adjustments here in the second half. We've got about 6 minutes to go. So this has been a long night of basketball so far for the Wildcat fans. Started at 4:30 with the girls JV game. They're just playing a half this year, 2 quarters, due to low numbers, and they started at 4:30 and they got a win. And then the JV boys went after that, and I called a little bit of, you heard a little bit of the JV game there. And unfortunately, the JV boys weren't able to get a win. They got beat by about 20 there. And now we're at halftime of the girls' varsity game. That's why, and if you're just joining, I'm Cindy McCarthy, and we're at halftime, I've mentioned, as the girls' varsity game. And it's Wildcat 17 and Lisbon 12. We've got about 5 minutes left in this halftime, and then we'll get into that second half of the girls' game, and then we'll get into the boys' game. So again, a long night when they use one gym for all the games. I'm not sure what the situation is here at Lisbon that we can't use 2 gyms, but it is what it is. And we'll see again. Foul-wise, the only Wildcat in foul trouble is Emma Tridle. She has 2 fouls. And I'm not sure about Lisbon, what their foul situation is, but neither team, they were pretty consistent. The officiating was pretty consistent. I think both teams had like 5 or 6 team fouls. Neither team got in the bonus. So making their last adjustments with 4 minutes to go. Nice, decent crowd tonight considering it's pretty dang cold out there. Had that cold snap come in yesterday with a little bit of snow, so now we're getting true November weather. So Lions have a decent crowd over there. Quite a few Wildcat fans here, considering it's a school night. And as I mentioned, there's an elementary concert going on. So we would have some of our normal fans that would be here aren't here. Hopefully the concert's going well. Should mention, I guess, just talking a little bit about the Wildcat girls basketball team, is that Coach Malloy this is his first year coaching at Central City, and Cody and I talked a little bit about this earlier when we did the Bellevue Marquette game last week, that it takes sometimes a little bit of an adjustment. We've got new coach and then 2 new girls. As I mentioned, Tessa Malloy is the coach's daughter, and then Sarah Ashley, who has transferred in from Marion. And both of them are getting substantial playing time. And so just trying to figure out a new coach's system and playing with a couple new players. So it can be sometimes just getting things figured out and just getting comfortable within the system and playing with each other can take a little bit. And as I mentioned, this is the 5th game. The Wildcat girls are 1-3, so they've had 4 games. And I can see some things improvement. This is my 3rd game that I've seen them play. But a part of it too is coming out, and like I said, we need to be consistent and you need to be ready to play. And in that first quarter, we missed a couple easy baskets that if we would have hit those right away, I think it could have been a real momentum builder for us instead of missing some easy shots. So, but we have persevered. We're still working hard here. The Wildcats are back out on the floor. We're just under 2 minutes to go. So we'll see here what happens. Hopefully we can come out strong on that this first third quarter. Come out after halftime and just kind of get some separation between us and Lisbon and not let them hang around. Like I said, Lisbon is 2-2, and we are 1-3. But I feel like maybe the teams that we've played are of a little better caliber, and so hopefully the Wildcats can keep things working in their favor and come away with a win here tonight. Just under a minute here. Here comes Lisbon coming out onto the floor, and then we should be ready to get started for the third quarter. I can't tell. I'm not sure who's going to start with the ball. I'm at the back of the scorers table, so I'm not sure who's starting with the basketball. But whichever, hopefully the Wildcats defense, again, they haven't done a terrible job. Again, we have the size advantage, but I feel like we've let there get some penetration in against that zone, and so hopefully they'll move their feet a little bit and take that away and force the Lions to shoot from the outside. Coming into tonight's game, Lisbon's shooting 34% from the field and 30% from three-point line. So they've shot 52 three-pointers and they're making 30%. So not great, not terrible as far as that goes. So it looks like the Wildcats are going to start the second half with the same starters that they had the first half. And Lisbon is going to actually start with the basketball. So the Wildcats look like they're going back to the 1-3-1 zone that they actually started the game in, and then they switched to the 2-3. So we'll see here what happens. Lisbon's going to get it in. They're in the front court, and they pass it around the top of the key here, back and forth. Emma Fritcher's causing some problems with her height. There's a trap down in the corner and a long cross-court pass knocked away by Trital, but it's picked up by the Lions. Fritcher's up on top again in that 1-3-1, and there's a pass to the right baseline. They get it back out, back to that baseline, and they're going to go up with the three-pointer. It's going to be short, and Trital runs it down. Wildcats have the ball. Kramer bringing it up the floor, getting it into the front court. And Lisbon stays in the man-to-man, it looks like. And again, the Wildcats move it around. Got Emma Fritcher up, and there's the pass to the baseline to Sarah Reed. Spins in and out. Rebounded by the Lions. Lions are going to dribble around some people, and they take it to the right baseline. They kick it back out to the top of the key and dribble. And there's, nope, just about a steal by Fritcher, just a little late. Gets it down to the baseline on the right-hand side, the Lisbon. Then they go back to the top of the key. There's a dribble, nothing there. There's a kick out. They reset, and there's a dribble, and it's a top of the key three-point attempt, and it's good. It hits the front and the back of the rim, and it goes in. So Lions draw first blood here in the third quarter. Pass up to Trital, over to Fritcher. This is what I like. We've got a little more when they cut. There's Fritcher with the dribble. She gets it to Kramer. Gets it over to Ashley. Check-in. Gets the pick by Reed. Ashley dribbles down. Nothing there. And they're going to call foul on Lisbon. They were bodying her pretty bad. She dribbled down, and they almost knocked her out of bounds, and they did call that. So the Wildcats will take it out of bounds. That's the first foul of the second half. So with 6 minutes to go, it's 17-15. Wildcats are ahead. Wildcats have the ball. Emma Trital dribbling around, gets it to Ashley. She gets it to Kramer. Kramer's at the top of the key, checking things out, gets the pick from Reed, nothing there. She gives it to Ashley. Ashley's going to dribble. She goes baseline, nothing there, kicks it back out to Fritcher. Fritcher's dribbles, hands off to Trital. Trital over to Ashley. Gets it over to Kramer. Kramer dribbles to the top. Gets Sarah Reed, who's pinned the girl down low, and then Sarah turns and just throws it up. She had a did a great job of pinning, but just didn't finish. The Lions get the rebound, and they're going to kick it there to the right, kick to the top of the key, and the three-pointer's no good. And it's a rebound by Treidel, and Lily Kramer brings it up and gets it into the front court, down to Emma Fritcher on the post. She takes a dribble and a runner and throws it up. No good. Sarah Reed with the rebound, and she shoots it and is going to be fouled. So got a couple looks inside there and finally gets the foul, and Sarah's going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. We're at 5 minutes to go in the third quarter at 17-15. Wildcats are ahead, and there's a free throw by Sarah. She knocks that one down. Sarah's going to have another shot. And it goes up and in. 2 free throws for Sarah Reed. That's the way. So the Wildcats are going to turn around, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to go maybe, I'm not sure what they're doing. Looks like maybe a box. I'm not sure what that defense was, or else they were mixed up on what they were doing. So there was the shot. It was no good. Rebound by the Wildcats. They get it down to floor. Sarah's on that baseline where she likes that shot. She fakes it. Nothing there, though. Gets it back up. Ashley over to Treidel, down to the right baseline. Lily Kramer gets it in and gets it over to Sarah Ashley, who shoots and misses a layup. And the Lions get the rebound. Lily Kramer with the steal, or she tips it away. And then she's not able to get it under control, and Sarah Ashley goes after it, and as she's picking it up, the Lions hit it out of her hands, and it goes out of bounds, so the Wildcats are going to get possession. So Treidel has the ball, picked by Reed. Nothing there on the pick and roll. Ball back at the top of the key. Ashley dribbles it and passes it to Kramer. Kramer back to Ashley. Ashley drives to the right-hand side, goes underneath the basket, tries a reverse layup, and it kind of slips out of her hand and goes straight up in the air and comes down. And the Lions have the ball, and they get it up the floor, and there's the shot, no good. Treidel with the rebound, and she gets it to Lily Kramer. Kramer's pushing the ball up the floor here. And again, Lions are still in their man-to-man, and there's Fritcher, just takes one dribble and shoots the ball, nothing there, but we get the offensive rebound. Fritcher's going to take it again, and this time she drives and has a little better shot, but misses. Wildcats just can't get anything to fall. Oh, good hustle by Sarah Reed. Sarah gets a little deflection, and the Lions actually then touched the ball after Sarah touched it, and so it goes out of bounds, and the Wildcats are going to have it out of bounds. We have a couple substitutions here. Natalie Noonan checking in, as well as Tesla Malloy. So we've got Fritcher and Kramer and Malloy and Noonan and Reed out on the floor for the Wildcats. There's a drive by Malloy, looking for the bounce pass into Sarah Reed. Nice play by Sarah. She got it and kept the defender on her back and went up for the layup there. So that was a nice give and go there. And there's a deflection by Lily Kramer, hit the ball and goes out of bounds, so it'll stay down here with the Lions. So with 2:59 left in the third quarter, it's 15-21. Wildcats are up. So see if the Wildcats have now, it looks like, gone back into, I think they're man-to-man. I think the Wildcats are man-to-man, or, yep, man-to-man, I think. And there's a shot by Lisbon, and it goes up, and they get the offensive rebound, but then the ball's knocked out of bounds, and the Wildcats pick it up, so they're going to get here into the front court. And Tessa Malloy has the ball at the top of the key. She drives to the right-hand side, nothing there. She gets it across court to Fritcher. Fritcher's trying to back down, nothing with Fritcher, gets it to Malloy. Malloy hits Reed. Reed squares up, passes it into Fritcher, and we just did about two-foot passes, and so our spacing is not good. And then the Wildcats did not hustle back on defense, and they gave up an easy layup to the Lions. So it's 21-17 with just about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And there's a pass to Tessa Malloy, and she's going to throw up a three-pointer. No good. And Wildcats are losing their patience. We did a really, really good job early on moving the ball, passing it 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And now this last maybe 3 or 4 possessions, it's been one pass and just a chuck. And I'm sure that Coach Malloy is going to talk a little bit about working the ball around, taking a little time off the clock, and looking for a good shot. So 17-21, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Give a shout out to Next Bank, our sponsor. What's next on your list of financial goals? Wherever you're going next, Next Bank has a loan that's right for you. Your next car, your next home, even your next adventure, all are within reach with a Next Bank loan. Convenient locations in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So kind of a low-scoring game. Lisbon seems to this quarter be relying more, looking for outside shots. They haven't gotten it inside quite as much. They did just get a fast break layup, but most of their shots have been coming from the perimeter. So the Wildcats have done a good job of taking away that dribble penetration that they were allowing in the first half. But the Wildcats are getting some looks. They're just not getting the shots to drop. We need to concentrate. I don't know if they feel like they're going to be getting fouled, and we're just kind of turning and throwing rather than just going up for good, strong shots. So Wildcats here are on defense as the Lions are going to come out here after that timeout. And there's the pass and the dribble. They're trying to take it around Sarah Reed. Nothing there. Rebounded by Malloy. Malloy gets it into the front court. And again, Lisbon is in that man-to-man. And there's a dribble with the hesitation by Malloy, and they're going to say travel. And so there's a turnover on the Wildcats. And so Lily Kramer's kind of picking up full court. It looks like, I'm not really sure what kind of a defense the Wildcats are playing here. So Kramer's defending the ball. Looks like it's man-to-man like that. And looks like maybe we are playing a little bit of man here. So the dribble goes to the baseline. And there's 3 seconds in the lane on the Lions. So Wildcats get a turnover with a minute to go here in the third quarter. It's 21-17. So see if the Wildcats hold for one shot, work the ball around. Natalie Noonan has the ball on the wing, looks at some cutters, gets to the top of the key to Fritcher. Fritcher turns around and gets it over to Kramer on the wing on the left-hand side, back to Noonan at the top of the key. Back over to Tesla on the wing on the left, looking around. There's a lot of action. There we go. Nice play there. We kept our composure, we kept moving, and Emma Fritcher was able to get free on a nice cut and got the layup there. So that's what happens when you take your time. And then Lisbon just comes down and dribbles and just stops and throws up a three-pointer. Not sure that maybe they realized how much time was left. Not sure that's the shot that I'd want as a coach. So they miss, and there's a jump ball, and the Wildcats are going to get it. So with 20 seconds left, the Wildcats have a chance to come down here and get another basket before the end of the third quarter. Malloy dribbles in, nice little hesitation dribble, and goes around her girl and gets the layup. So 2 more points there for the Wildcats. So 4 points here in the less than a minute. So that's nice way to end the third quarter. And Lisbon does get a shot attempt up, but it's no good. So nice end to that. Nice end of that third quarter, 25-17. So the Wildcats came out with a 10-point first quarter. Second quarter, they ended up with 7 points. In this last quarter, they scored 8, and 4 of those came just right here with under a minute to go. So maybe the Wildcats are starting to get things figured out here. Those last 2 possessions were probably 2 of their better possessions that they've had in the second half. Where they're playing against the Lions, who are playing man-to-man, and I think that the Wildcats switched to a man-to-man. I haven't seen enough cutting by the Lions to see if it's a man-to-man or if they're doing some kind of a junk defense, so I'll try to keep an eye out on that. We talked about kind of even scoring after the first half here. Sarah Reed's got 18 points. And Fritcher still has 2. Malloy's got 2 now. And I'm trying to think of who else has scored. It looks like the Wildcats actually are playing maybe a triangle 2 here. And there's going to be an offensive foul on the Lisbon. That was Emma Treidel who took a charge. That was a good job. So we got Treidel dribbling to the baseline, the right-hand side. She gets it back, kicks it out to Sarah Reed with the shot. It's no good. Rebound by the Lions. Lions are looking to run a little bit, and there's nothing there. Sarah Reed with the steal. They tried to force it. It was a 2-on-2, and she really wasn't open, and Sarah just stuck her arm out and got a steal. And then there's going to be a foul called on the Lions. So with 7:34 left, it's 25-17. I'm Cindy McCarthy. We're just starting the fourth quarter here of the girls' varsity game. Wildcats up, as I mentioned, 25-17. Treidel's got the ball at the top of the key. She's going to use a pick from Reed. Gets it inside to Malloy. Then she kicks it out. Now she's out and has the ball and passes it into Sarah Reed, who makes a nice move and gets a finish there. That was a nice, strong move by Sarah. The girls have to go up strong, and and both her and Fritcher have shown that they can do that. That was a nice move. So Wildcats are going to come back down here on defense, and it looks like Lily Kramer's playing man-to-man against number 10, and she got the ball. Probably if you're playing man or like a junk defense, you don't want to happen, but 10 got the ball and dribbled it in, and they're going to call foul on, not sure who they called that foul on. So, on Sarah Reed. So Sarah just picked up the foul. And there's the pass into on the out-of-bounds play. The Wildcats kind of fell asleep and let number 4 get open over there on the wing, and she knocks down the shot. So the Wildcats are 20-27 game here, and there's a 2-point basket by Malloy, I believe. Now the Wildcats are back on defense here. Sarah Reed defending. They get the ball to the elbow there, and at the free throw line, yep. And the Lions dribble in and make contact with Emma Fritcher, and Emma blocked it, but she did make contact with her body, so that's going to be a foul on Fritcher. I think that's just her first foul. Only 2 fouls on the Wildcats here in the second half, 4 team fouls on Lisbon. And the Lions go to the free throw line on that foul, and they make the first one. And they make the second one. And there's going to be a sub. Tessa Malloy's going to go out. Lily Kramer's coming in. So we've got Lily Kramer and Emma Fritcher and Sarah Ashley, Emma Treidel, and Sarah Reed on the floor for the Wildcats. Wildcats lead 29-22. Ashley with the ball, checking things out. Dribbles, gets it over to Treidel. Treidel's looking, picked by Reed. Treidel's going to dribble around. Tries to go around the baseline, can't do it. Kicks it out to Reed, who shoots and is short. And then Treidel gets the offensive rebound and then kicks it back out, and it's stolen by the Lions. Lions are running, and there's a layup. So Treidel should have just tried to shoot it instead of kicking it back out, and it turns into a turnover and 2 points for the Lions. So the Wildcats come back into the front court. Looked like the Wildcats kind of had things under control, but it's 24-29. We've got 5.5 minutes to go. Wildcats need to keep the pressure on, and there's going to be a timeout. Wildcats going to kind of talk about things. They had some things going there. You got to get back on D. That's one thing for sure. So we've got a shout out to the sponsor, Next Bank. Next Bank is invested in their communities and ready to help the local economy grow by helping your business or farm operation grow. Whether you need an operating loan, equipment loan, livestock loan, or real estate loan, Next Bank has great terms and rates that will help you move your business to the next level. Next bank offices are located in Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Central City, and Coralville. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, Wildcat fans, we've got a 24 to 29 game. We've got 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. Wildcats are going to have the ball, and they have 2 team fouls, and Lisbon has 4 team fouls. So nobody's in foul trouble that I know of from the Wildcats. I really haven't been paying attention to the Lions because I don't even have the right numbers and names. So if something happens, I'll let you know if they foul out. Looks like they might have a couple girls with 2 fouls, but I don't think anybody's in serious foul trouble that's out on the floor. So the Wildcats get the ball, pass it inbounds. Lily Kramer's got it at the top of the key, gets it over to Sarah Ashley. She gets it back to Kramer. Kramer's still at the top of the key, back over to Ashley. Ashley's going to take a couple dribbles, kind of pulls it back out. Now Malloy's at the top of the key. She's going to dribble to the right. She's looking. Oh, and they call her for traveling. There's a lot of reaching and grabbing, that's for sure. The Wildcats have to be strong with their jump stops, and they have to be strong with their dribbling. So the Wildcats look like they might be playing a triangle and 2 here. And there's a pop and a 3-point shot by the Lions. And the rebound goes back into the backcourt, and the Lions run it down, and now they bring it into the front court. And there's a shot and a 3-pointer by number 12 for the Lions. So it's 27-29. We've got 4 minutes to go. Wildcats, again, Lisbon has been playing man-to-man. And there's Malloy dribbling, kicking it out to Ashley, over to Lily Kramer. Kramer down to the baseline to Fritcher. Fritcher pulls up for the shot. There we go. Nice shot by Fritcher, 10-footer. Shot it with some confidence. That's what we need. Fritcher's our second leading scorer here, and that gives her about 4 points tonight, maybe 6 points, I'm not sure. There's a shot by the Lions and rebound by Sarah Reed. That was kind of a quick shot. Malloy's going to get it into the front court, gets it over to Sarah Ashley. She thinks about it, but doesn't really have an advantage. It doesn't have a good look, so she works it around, and now Fritcher's got it, dribbles it to the top of the key, gives it to Malloy. Malloy's checking things out. There's the pass to the wing to Fritcher, and Fritcher's going to shoot it again. This time it's an air ball, but it's run down by Malloy, so the Wildcats are going to keep possession. And Lily Kramer's going to dribble. She gets it to Fritcher. Fritcher's going to dribble it in, kicks it up to Malloy. Malloy's dribbling the ball, looks at the cutter, Ashley. Oh, there we go. I didn't think they were going to call that. Nice cut by Sarah Ashley. Tesla Malloy hits her, and Ashley, the shortest Wildcat on the floor, takes it down low and gets fouled. That's going to be the 5th team foul on the Lions. And Sarah Ashley's going to go to the free throw line. And the first shot is good. So big free throw there. 3 new Lisbon Lions check in. And it looks like we've got Emma Tritle checking in for Tesla Malloy. So we've got Tritle and Kramer and Sarah Ashley and Sarah Reed and Emma Fritcher out on the floor for the Wildcats. And the second free throw by Sarah Ashley is up and good. So 2 big free throws there for the Wildcats. Got to have some defense here. We've got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. There's the shot, short, and nice rebound by Emma Fritcher. Uses her long arms there and reaches out and snags that rebound. Gets it to Kramer. Kramer passes it up. Nice. Kramer, nice pass up to Reed on the baseline and hits a cutting Fritcher. Fritcher knocks it down with her left hand. Nice to see that. Ball's into the front court now. Pass it around here by the Lions. They get it to the elbow. Cross-court pass. Kick it back out. There's a behind-the-back dribble by 4, and she does a nice little jump shot, 2-point shot. 29-35. Wildcats up with 2:45 left. The Wildcats have the ball. Tritle looking. And there's going to be a 30-second timeout by the Wildcats. So the Wildcats, so we got 29-35. We got 2:39 left in the 4th quarter. 5 team fouls on Lisbon, 2 team fouls on the Wildcats. We're really doing a good job now these last few possessions of really making some good cuts and being patient and hitting the cutter and then we're finishing on the basket. And that's something that we hadn't been doing earlier in the game. So hopefully we can keep that up, keep the pressure on Lisbon. So there's a 30-second timeout, so we're breaking the huddle here. Wildcats will have the ball. Looks like Fritcher's going to pass it inbounds. Again, Lisbon is in their man-to-man. They've been in that man-to-man the whole game. We get it into Treidel. Treidel, cross-court pass to Ashley. She's going to dribble in and gets it partially blocked. Probably not the best shot we want after that timeout, but Wildcats going to come back here on defense. And the Lions are just, there's a dribble in, and Emma Fritcher just flies out and blocks it and says, I'll take that basketball out of your hands. And so she does that, and we get the ball into the front court, and there's going to be a foul on Lily Kramer. And that is only, that's the 6th team foul for Lisbon. So we've got 2:14 left. Nice out-of-bounds play. Sarah to give and go to Fritcher, but Lisbon did a good job of defending that. Fritcher gets the ball. Oh, and there's going to be a foul. Fritcher passes the ball to Emma Treidel, and the Lions are going for a steal, and they bump into Treidel, and it's going to be a foul. So that's the 7th team foul now on the Lions, and that will put the Wildcats in the bonus for the rest of the game. So with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left, Treidel goes to the free throw line, no good. Sarah Reed gets the rebound on the missed free throw. She could have put it back up. She kicks it out to Tesla Malloy, and Tesla hits a 3-point shot. Nice big shot on the Wildcats there. Now we come back down and we got to play defense. Number 10 is just dribbling, and Sarah stood her ground, and number 10 couldn't get around her and dribbled out of bounds. So with 1:44 left, it's 29-38 Wildcats. Wildcats get it in. Oh, that could have been traveling. So Fritcher almost got called for traveling, but she did pick up the ball and then passed it to Lily Kramer, who was fouled. And we are in the 1-and-1 bonus. That's 8 team fouls. So with 1:37 left, it's 29-38. Wildcats are up. And Lily's first shot, hits the front of the rim, and it's going to be Wildcat basketball. Sarah Reed kept it alive and was going for the ball. And the the Lisbon Lions kind of come up from behind and took it away from Sarah, but it got knocked out of bounds. So Wildcats will keep the ball. There's a nice out-of-bounds play. Got it into Sarah Reed, and a give and go there to Emma Treidel. Treidel goes up for the shot and is hammered. Unfortunately, the ball didn't drop, so Emma's going to go to the line for 2, and that's 9 team fouls now with 1.5 minutes on the Lions. And Emma's first free throw is no good. Wildcats need to make these free throws. Lily Kramer missed earlier. Emma's missed it earlier, and there's another miss. And this time they're going to call Emma Fritcher on the back on that rebound. So Wildcats had a chance there to get about 3 or 4 more points, and we just weren't able to do it with the free throw shooting. I mentioned this coming into tonight's game, we're shooting as a team. We're only shooting 40%. So that's something that the Wildcats are going to need to work on, because in games like this, when you have a chance to get to the free throw line, you're going to want to make sure you can knock them down. So the Lions have it in the front court. They're throwing up shots. They've gotten their offensive rebound. But this time the shot goes up and Emma Fritcher gets the rebound. So with 1 minute to go, Wildcats have the ball. And Lily Kramer is going to get fouled again. And so she's going to go to the line. And this is going to be the double bonus. That's 10 fouls now on Lisbon. And so this is what we're talking about. Lily needs to step up here and knock down a shot, kind of give us some breathing room. And her first shot is good. So there we go. Lily steps up that time and knocks it down. Big shot for Lily. And Lily's second shot is good. There we go. That's the way to knock it down. So now Lisbon's going to bring it in. We're just at a minute left in the game, and the Wildcats are really putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers. Just about got a steal. Oh, and the official was going to call foul or call something, but then he didn't. But now they are going to call foul on the Wildcats, but it's on the floor, so that's Emma Fritcher's third foul. Man, we're losing track of 10 on that out-of-bounds play, and she likes that three-point shot. She had a good look, but fortunately for us, she missed. Emma Fritcher got the rebound, gets it to Sarah Reed. Sarah Reed is fouled now, so Sarah's going to go to the free throw line, and she's going to have the double bonus. So again, these are some big shots for the Wildcats. And Sarah Reed, in and out. And Sarah's second shot is going to go up and in, so she knocks that one down. That was the double bonus. So we've got 45 seconds left. Here comes the Lions into the front court, and she steals. Emma Treidel gets the ball and takes it in, and nothing's called. And then Malloy comes down and gets the offensive rebound and puts it in. And yeah, should have been either an offensive or defensive foul there with Treidel. But anyway, Wildcats end up scoring, and then there's a basket by Lisbon. There's 20 seconds left. Wildcats just need to get it in here, and we'll see. They're not going to steal. And now, 9 seconds left, and the Wildcats take a timeout. We were going to get a 10-second call. It's 31-43. All the Wildcats need to do is get it in bounds this time, and the game should be over. So again, we've got 9.4 seconds left, and it's 31-43. Wildcats have the ball. They just have to pretty much get it in bounds and just let the clock run out. There's not really anything. The only thing the Lions can do is foul, which I'm not sure they want to do, and put the Wildcats at the line again at this point, but you never know what'll happen here. So Fritcher's going to take it out of bounds for the Wildcats. And they're being face guarded. And there it is. They get it into Lily Kramer. She gets it up into the front court, and the Wildcats should just dribble it out. Yep, the Tesla Malloy's just going to hold the ball. And there's the game. So the final scores would be 43-31. So we had a explosion of points that fourth quarter. Sarah Reed looks like she ended up with 21 points. Fritcher ended up with 6, it looks like. And Tesla Malloy ended up with 9. So Kramer had a handful there. I'm not sure. They cleared the board, and I wasn't keeping track like I should have. I'm soloing it tonight. And wow, kind of not a nail biter, but Wildcats just couldn't put Lisbon away. I thought we had a couple times where we looked like we had control and had the momentum and were kind of opening up, and then it just seemed like the Lions would just make a little run, or we'd kind of do something silly and let them back in it. So, but in the end, the Wildcats come out with a victory. I'm not sure. I'm just going to do something here. Lisa, what's Sarah's career high? 21? That's what I thought maybe. So Wildcats end up 43-31, pick up their second win of the year. So that's going to put the Wildcats at 2-3, and they have 3 games left before Christmas break that potentially they could get themselves up around 500. I'm not really too sure here. I haven't looked ahead at what the conference standings are or anything. So I'm not sure what Easton Valley, Midland, and Albernet have. Just, I guess, as a measuring stick, Lisbon beat Midland 51-34, so potentially there's a good chance that the Wildcats can be at least 500 maybe going into Christmas break, so that'll be a kind of a cool thing for the Wildcats. Taking some early losses here and still battling and trying to work hard to get better, and so if they can come out and be 500 at Christmas, I'm sure Coach Malloy would be pretty happy with that. So just a recap, 43-31 is the final, and the Wildcats were led in scoring by Sarah Reed with 21, and her mom's sitting near me and just confirmed that that's a career high for Sarah. So congratulations to Sarah with 21 points tonight. She had 14 points at halftime and came out and got 7 more points here in the second half. She did get a little more help. We talked about she had 14 points at halftime, and Malloy and Fritcher each had 2, and then 1 point by Lily Kramer. So the other Wildcats did come out here this second half. Fritcher ends up with 6 points, and I know Malloy ended up with 9. And Lily Kramer pitched in probably with 3 or 4 points. So that's what we need, is a little more well-balanced, more balanced scoring than just relying on one. So the second half was much better in that sense. But Sarah still kept things going for the Wildcats in the first half and had some big buckets in the second half. So congratulations to the girls Wildcats team for that victory tonight. So now we'll get going here with the boys game. And both teams are out warming up. And so kind of looking into tonight's game here for the boys, talk really quick about the Lisbon boys. Lisbon boys come into tonight's game. They're 1-2. Their win was in their first game of the year against East Buck. Then they've played Starmont and Springville and have gotten beaten by both of those teams. So they come into tonight's game, as I mentioned, with a 1-2 record. Offensively, they're being led by Cole Becker, who has averaging 15.7 points a game. So we're going to need to know where Becker is tonight. And then they've got McLean Allison, who's averaging 10 points a game. Both of those guys are shooting about 43% from the field. And then Tyler Scott's shooting 46, so they've got some good field goal percentages going there. 3-point wise, they're shooting only 22%, so not necessarily maybe what the coaches want there. So Becker and Allison here, the 2 leading scorers for the Lisbon boys, and then it looks like Hunter Niemeyer is leading the team in rebounding, followed by Tyson Scott. So that's just a little bit about the Lions here. Wildcats, as I mentioned earlier, are coming into tonight's game with a 3-0 record. They started off the season with a win at Central Elkader. Then they hosted their first conference game, Marquette Catholic. That was on Tuesday, the 3rd of December, and they were able to come away with a 62-49 win in that game. And then last Friday, they were at Cedar Valley Christian, and that was a 67-43 win. And that game was a little closer than what that score indicates. Cedar Valley Christian's much improved, and they were playing a box or a triangle and 2 on Nick, and we kind of had a hard time scoring and got in a little bit of foul trouble in the first half. But in the second half, we were able to get them out of the triangle and 2, and Nick ended up getting around 25 points, and the Wildcats were able to come away with a victory that night. So kind of looking at the scoring, Nick Reed obviously is leading the boys. He's averaging 29 points a game. He's shooting 59, almost 60% from the field, and that's 4 for 10 from the 3-point line, and then 28 for 47 from 2-point line. So Nick's shooting 59%. Then Patrick Wade is the second leading scorer. He's at 8 points a game, and he's shooting 58%. Right, he's 11 for 19. So Patrick, he's only shot 19 times, but when he shoots, he knocks them down more times than not. And he's 2 for 2 from the three-point line. And then Ethan Ty, who struggled a little bit the other night against Cedar Valley, he got a little bit of foul trouble. He had come into Cedar Valley's game averaging 9 points a game, and now he's dropped a little bit to 7, almost 8 points a game. So it'd be nice to see Ethan get some points tonight, stay out of foul trouble. And we'll see kind of what happens with that. And then David Warrington had a nice game the other night also. Rebounding, Nick Reed's leading the Wildcats in rebounding. He's got 61 boards, 46 defensive boards, 15 offensive boards. And then next is going to be David Warrington, has 10 boards. And Trey Orcutt, not the shortest guy on the team, but a point guard, and he's got 9 boards. So it's nice to see him crashing and getting some stuff done there for the Wildcats. Cody Ratliff must be done with the concert, or else there's taking a break. Says, let's go Cats, keep it rolling. Hopefully we can. We haven't played a common opponent yet as far as the boys are concerned, so it's kind of hard to gauge anything, but hopefully the Wildcats bring their A game tonight and we don't have to worry about anything, and we can get out of tonight's game with another win for both the varsity girls and the boys. That would be pretty cool. And so Central City boys just left the court to go get the final instructions before the game. We've got about 7.5 minutes here to go. Lions are warming up. Lions again are going to be the home team in their home white. They got red numbers and they got red and black stripes going down the side of their legs. Wildcats will be in the home reds. So coming into tonight's game, as I mentioned, we started off with the girls' JV game, and the girls are just playing a half this year because of numbers, so they only play 2 quarters, and they were able to get a win tonight. And then the JV boys played, and unfortunately they were beaten by about 20 points. Now we just had the varsity girls get their second win of the year, 43-31. And now we're going through warm-ups here with the boys. And again, the Central City boys come in with a 3-0 record, and the Lisbon boys come in with a 1-2 record. Just talking to Coach Carlson, and the second half of the Cedar Valley Christian game was the first time that this year that the Wildcats have not faced a junk defense. The Wildcats were facing a triangle and 2 against Cedar Valley, and about midway through the third quarter they were up by about 12 points, and they just pulled it out, and it was like, if you're going to stay, and they were packing in that 3-2, or the triangle and 2, I should say, not 3-2, the triangle and 2, they were packing it in, and Wildcats just said, hey, we're going to pull it out, and we'll just stand out here and win this game if you guys don't want to play defense on us. And so Cedar Valley went man-to-man, and that was the first time that the Wildcats have seen a straight-up man-to-man defense all year. And I don't think there's too many people, if they go straight man-to-man, that are going to be able to stop the Wildcats and stop Nick. So we'll see here what Lisbon decides to do. We talked about it last year. There was a lot of young guys that were thrown into varsity and were a little probably overwhelmed for most of the season. And this year, all of those guys now are back. And, you know, we did lose a couple guys. We lost Trey Hollub, who was a starter, and then we had TJ Ayers, who came off the bench and started some time. So we did lose a couple guys who got a lot of playing time, but the bulk of the team really is back this year, and I can just tell just from the last couple games that some of those role players last year that were a little overwhelmed because they'd never been on varsity, you can tell they're a lot more confident this year. And Ethan Ty's been having a nice season, except I mentioned he did get in a little foul trouble last Friday. So hopefully he can move his feet and play D, and we can use his offense, that's for sure. And then, like I already mentioned, Patrick Wade again looked a little overwhelmed last year sometimes, and he's having a really good season so far with his shooting. And I really like the way Marshall Vandevet stepped up his game, and Trey Orcutt has really improved his game. And Trey necessarily isn't going to be looked at to score 10, 12 points, but his ball handling and his decision making is just a lot better, and he's just a lot more confident than he was last year. And so that's exciting to see as far as that goes. So one thing, it's kind of funny, I don't know if Ratliff is still listening, against Cedar Valley Christian, the girls, I think, had a school record for the most air balls. And we just kept mentioning, wow, there's another air ball, there's another air ball. We were like, well, this is crazy. And come to find out, the whole first half of the girls' game, they played it with a boys' basketball. So that air ball record gets wiped out, luckily. And I was just going to make a comment, as I only think I saw maybe 2 air balls tonight. So looks like they must have had the right ball for the whole game for the girls. So hopefully for the guys, they got the right basketball here, and our Central City Wildcats are going to be knocking down a lot of shots. So 2:50 to go here in the warm-ups. Both teams getting in their last shots. And as I mentioned, Carlson was just talking about how it's been, I mean, it's to be expected that you're going to see the junk defenses against Nick. But it was nice, he said, that was actually their first time seeing just a straight man-to-man, and how our guys responded to it. And it's always hard to practice against the junk defenses because everybody has little nuances that they have as far as the triangle and 2 or the box and 1, as far as rotations and different things like that. So it's hard to practice against those. I guess now everybody has tape so they can watch tape and kind of see. But on the other hand, teams, when they play Central City, that might be the first or only second time of the year that they're playing that junk defense. And so sometimes it's easy to practice it when you think you're practicing against, but when you actually get out there and you're playing against Nick and just the quickness of the Wildcats, it can be a challenge too. So anyway, we'll see here what happens. We've got a minute and a half left, and both teams are getting ready for the starting lineups. For the Wildcats, it's going to probably be Nick Reed, Trey Orcutt, Keegan Kula. Looks like Ethan Ty and Patrick Wade are going to be starters for the Wildcats. And we'll see here for the Lions if the numbers are right. The girls weren't, so we'll see here if the guys. Looks like Tyson Scott is going to be starting, and Cole Becker, McLean Allison, names that I mentioned to start with, and Hunter Niemeyer is another starter. So starting lineups are going to come up, and then we'll have the tip.
Here we go with the second game between the Wildcats and the Lions. Thank you. Starting lineups. For the Wildcats, number 1, Trey Orcutt.
So Trey Orcutt, senior.
And for Lisbon, 00, Tyson Scott.
And Tyson Scott, sophomore, 6'1".
For Central City, number 4, Ethan Ty.
So junior Ethan Ty for the Wildcats, as I mentioned.
And for the Lions, number 42, McLean Allison.
McLean Allison,
For the
junior,
Wildcats,
6'1".
number 5, Nick Reed.
Nick Reed, senior, 6'7" for the Wildcats.
And for the Lions, number 24, Tyler Scott.
Tyler Scott, 5'11" sophomore for the Lions.
For Central City, number 23, Patrick Wade.
Patrick Wade for the Wildcats.
And for the Lions, number 32, Cole Becker.
Cole Becker,
And for Central City,
6'3"
number
sophomore.
50,
Keegan Kula, senior for the Wildcats.
And for Lisbon, number 52, Hunter Niemeyer.
And junior, 6'4", Hunter Niemeyer. So Lisbon has a little bit of size. They've got 6'4", 6'3", a couple 6-foot guys. So they definitely have a height advantage over the Wildcats overall. So we'll see what happens as we get started here. Cody Ratliff, I'm still here. Oh, Central City takes precedence over the Hawkeyes for Cody. Appreciate you listening in. Miss having you here. So Nick Reed is going to jump against Hunter Niemeyer, and Lisbon's going to get the tip. And they're going to get it into the front court, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to be in a 2-3 zone. Oh, they're going to do a box and one on their own. Looks like they're playing a little box and one, and they're playing man-to-man against Cole Becker. I think I mentioned Becker's averaging about 15 points a game this year. Yep, he's averaging 15, 16 points a game, and the Wildcats get a steal. Ethan Ty's going to get it into the front court. Trey Orcutt. Oh, little mix-up there. Keegan Kula thought somebody was cutting back, and Nick was doing a backdoor cut, so turnover goes back to the Lions. And now the Wildcats are going to do a little bit of a full court press here, see what they can do. Becker's got the ball. He gets it into the front court, and there's a jump and a hop and a kick back out by Scott. Scott's got the ball, gets it over to Becker. Becker's looking around there, inside to Scott, but it's knocked away, and there's a miss by the Wildcats, rebounded by Nick. He missed his first shot, got his second, knocked it down, so the Wildcats are going to be on the board first, and then Lions come back the other way, and McLean Allison takes it in. Keegan Kula tries to draw a charge, but they don't call it. So we've got two Scotts out there. We must have brothers, I see. So right there's number 24, Tyler Scott, who dribbled it in, and he probably should have shot it. And he passed it, and it goes out of bounds, trying to get it to his brother. So the Wildcats get the ball on the turnovers. A 1-2-2 full court press by the Lions. Wildcats break it, get it out to Keegan Kula out on the wing for a three. Comes up short, rebounded by Lisbon. And now the Wildcats are coming back with their own press, and the Lions get it into the front court, and Becker has the ball, gives it to Scott. He gets it over to Allison. Allison's dribbling it around, and there's Scott, gets it into Niemeyer at the elbow. He turns and passes it into Tyson Scott, and it's stolen by Keegan Kula. The Wildcats are going to come back here. Trey Orcutt on the baseline on the right-hand side. Picks up his dribble, gets it to the top of the key to Patrick Wade. Wade's checking things out, gets it to Orcutt, who pops up on the wing. And they get it to Nick Reed on the baseline. And he pulls up for a three, and it hits in the craw of the basket and sticks there. Owen Hall's listening in. Owen, I'm glad you're listening. Cody had to stay back for the elementary Christmas concert, and he couldn't make it tonight, so I'm going solo. Next time I'm going to call you up, and you can come and announce with me. I've got Lacey Hennick sitting next to me who could probably help me announce. You just hear that, Lacey? I just said Lacey Hennick sitting next to me. You could help me announce. Put her on the headset. So the Wildcats get a steal here from the Lions. So with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, it's 2-0. Nick Reed's got the ball at the top of the key, and it gets down to Trey Orcutt. And Trey dribbles, the ball's knocked out of his hand, and it's going to be picked up by Tyson Scott. Gets it to Becker. Becker's going to bring the ball up into the front court. He gets it over to Tyler Scott. Tyler Scott's checking it out, gets it over to Allison. Allison knocks down a three-pointer. And Lisbon's in a full court press, but we break it easily. And there's a 2-point nice pass from Trey Orcutt to Keegan Kula, who lays down, knocks in the layup, I should say. Nice cut there by Keegan. And the Lions break the Wildcat press. And Scott is going in, and it's knocked out of bounds by Patrick Wade. So we've got David Warrington and Marshall Vandevet checking in. Lions are going to have the ball underneath their basket. They get it into Becker. He's going to turn on Wade, and he misses. And Reed comes up with the rebound, and then he tries to get it up ahead to Marshall Vandevet, but it slips out of his hand. Bad pass, steal by the Lions. Becker's got the ball, being defended by Marshall Vandevet, picks his pocket. Marshall Vandevet with the steal, and then he's fouled by Cole Becker. Oh, no, I'm take that back. Hunter Niemeyer, I think, on the foul. So that's going to be one team foul apiece. Wildcats 4, Lisbon 3 with 4 minutes to go. A lot of up and down, but not a lot of scoring here. Wade has the ball, gets to Marshall at the top of the key. Crossover, takes it in, kicks it out to Warrington, who's out on the wing. He gets a cross-court pass to Wade. Wade's dribbling. He tries to drive in, gets it back out to Warrington. And nice heads-up play by David. The ball got tipped, and he just let it go out of bounds rather than picking it up in the corner. So Patrick Wade passes it into David Warrington. We've got Marshall Vandevet at the top with a reset here. And it looks like it's just going to be a straight-up man-to-man defense here. David Warrington with a three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Tyson Scott. Scott gets it over to Becker. Becker gets it up to Tyler Scott. Tyler Scott dribbles in, gets his pocket picked by Marshall Vandevet. Nice pass by Ethan Ty to Patrick Wade for the 2 points. Nice job. Great pass by Ethan Ty. So the Lions are coming back, and they get it inside. And there's Tyson Scott, who lays it in for 2 points. Wildcats get the ball into Marshall Vandevet. They're going to call foul on Tyler Scott. That's Tyler's first foul. 2 team fouls there for the Lions. So like I said, a lot of up and down here, but it's 6-5. Wildcats are up. 3 minutes to go. Not a lot of scoring. Hopefully the Wildcats can get their defense turned up and get the offense going here. So David Warrington's going to dribble around. Nothing there. He gets it to Nick, who's cutting to the basket, and Nick stops, uses his body, and lays it in with his left hand. There's a bad pass. Oh, I thought it was going to go out of bounds, Lisbon, but Tyler Scott did a good job of hustling and picking it up, and then he shoots a three-pointer, no good. And Nick Reed's rolling around on the floor, picks it up, gets it up to Patrick Wade, who tries to go down court, and it's tipped, and it goes to the Lions. So Becker's got it, comes back, no good. Nick Reed with the rebound. Nick's going to take it the full length of the floor, and he's going to lay that in with his left hand, and there's a layup by Nick. So the Wildcats now go back to their full court press. And there's a cross-court pass from one Scott to the other. Becker's got it at the top of the key. Goes over to Allison. He gets it into Becker, kicks it back out to Allison. He dribbles, pulls up for a shot at the elbow, no good. And there's Tyson Scott with the rebound, and then on the putback, Nick swats it out of bounds. It's going to stay Lisbon ball. So with 1:46 left, we got 10-5 Wildcats. So Becker's got the ball at the top. He's going against Warrington. He pulls up at the free throw line, knocks down the two-pointer. So that's Becker's first 2 points of the game, I believe. Ball's passed into Trey Orcutt. There's, again, the full court press by Lisbon. Trey breaks it, gets it over to Keegan in the corner. Gets it to Trey Orcutt, who hits it to Nick, and Nick was almost behind the attack line on the volleyball. He was probably 5 feet behind the three-point line. Knocks that down for a three-point shot there by Nick. Nothing but net. While the Lions come back, Niemeyer with the shot, miss, and then Tyson Scott with the rebound and put back. So we're under a minute to go here. Trey Orcutt picks up his dribble, gets it up to Nick Reed, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Lions. Wildcats keep possession of the ball, and the Lions are going to just drop back in here, and Nick's got the ball, and there's 45 seconds left. We'll see what the Wildcats are going to do, if they can try to get a last-second shot or a good shot. Keegan is going to let it fly, and there's an air ball. Probably should have worked it around a little bit, but he was open. Just has to knock that down. Lions come into the front court. Becker's got the ball. He's dribbling it around. We've got 27 seconds left. The Wildcats in man-to-man. And there's into Niemeyer, out to Scott, down to Becker. No good. And Niemeyer goes for the rebound, knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Wildcat basketball. We've got Ethan Ty checking in for David Warrington. And Ethan's going to take it out of bounds, and the Wildcats have 12.7 seconds left in the first quarter. It's going to be 13-9. Nick's got the ball. There's almost three Lions guarding Nick. So the Wildcats have about a 3 or 4 on 2 here. Ethan lets it fly. Three-pointer is good at the buzzer. Nice shot by Ethan Ty. Dribbled in, kept his dribble, stepped back and knocked down that three-pointer right before the buzzer went off. So great job by Ethan there. So that makes it 16-9 after the first quarter. Again, both teams full court pressing. A lot of up and down action, some turnovers, some shots. Wildcats have at least 2 3-pointers. I'm missing 2 baskets. I know. Keegan has a basket. I'm trying to keep track here for you guys at home so I can let you know what's happening here. Patrick Wade might have had a basket, I think. So after that first quarter, Nick has 7 points. Ethan Ty hits that big three-pointer. Keegan 2, and Patrick Wade, I believe, has 2 points. So that's kind of the shakeout there. All right, so we'll get ready here for that second quarter. Lisbon's going to start with the ball. Becker's going to pass it in. He gets it into Allison. Allison takes it in, and he should have shot it. He gave it up, but then he gets the ball back, and he shoots it from outside. And the offensive rebound goes to the Lions, and they put it in for 2 points. So there's a putback, not necessarily what the Wildcats wanted there. We break the press, and Nick's got the ball. He looks into the baseline, and there's Ethan Ty again, and there's a three-pointer. Ethan Ty, back-to-back three-point shots. Great to see that from Ethan. He didn't get to play a lot last Friday because he got in foul trouble a little bit, so good to see him coming out here. Wildcats playing defense here in the front court. Lions have it. Becker with the ball over to Allison. He gets it into one of the Scots. Takes the shot up, blocked by Nick. Gets his rebound, though, and then Allison's going to just kind of chuck it up there. Nick with the rebound. Nick's going to go with it. It's a 3-on-3. Nick pulls up from behind the three-point line, knocks it down. That was like a three-point floater. Lisbon comes back into the front court. Tyler Scott pushes off and knocks down Ethan Ty. Ty goes flying. The shots miss. Nick with the rebound. And oh, nice pass. Keegan Kula gets down underneath the basket. Nick finds him, but Keegan just misses the layup. So now Lions are going to come back against that token pressure here, the Wildcats. Now we're playing man-to-man. Nice bounce pass into Scott. Scott gets it, passes it to Becker. Becker gives it up to Niemeyer. Niemeyer on the shot, misses, but I think they're going to call Nick for the foul. No, they call Ethan Ty for the reach. So I believe that's Ethan's first foul. And so it's 22-11 with 6:15 to go in the second quarter. Niemeyer's going to go to the line. He knocks down his first free throw. Marshall's checking out. And so right now on the floor for the Wildcats, we got Ethan Ty, Patrick Wade, Keegan Kula, Nick Reed, and Trey Orcutt. Lions still have, they've made one sub. And now the missed free throw, and the Lions get their rebound. Kind of a weird hot bounce off the basket, and it goes out to the Lions. There's Tyler Scott. He takes a hop and a jump, and he misses his shot. Nick Reed with the rebound. Nick's going to push it up into the front court. There's no advantage. Oh, nice cut by Keegan again this time. Same play, but it was deflected by Lisbon, and it goes out of bounds. And the Wildcats will retain possession. So it's 12-22, 5:52 left. There's the pass into Ethan Ty. Nothing for Ethan, so we're going to reset it at the top with Nick. Nick's got two guys on him, so it must be a triangle and two of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. Trey Orcutt dribbling, top of the key, doing some more dribbling, and there's Nick. Whoa, there's going to be a foul on Becker. Nick got free. Nice pick away from the ball, and Nick got free and right underneath the basket. And Trey Orcutt did a great job of hitting him, and Becker went up to try to block Nick's shot and fell right on his back. So Nick's going to go to the line for two shots here. And he's just short. Second free throw is good by Nick. Wildcats stay in that full court press. And there's almost a steal, but no go with that. Becker brings it up in the front court, kicks it back over to Allison. Allison gets it into the sub. Will Bennett. Will Bennett attacks the basket and knocks it down. So it's 14-23 with 5 minutes to go in the second half or quarter. Ethan Ty gets it into Patrick Wade. Wade looks. Ethan Ty's got it, dribbles, and he dribbles around two Lions and takes it in for a layup. So Ethan Ty with a big basket, and there's going to be a steal on that press, knocked away by Patrick Wade, tracked down by Nick Reed. Nick's going to bring it into the front court. He's dribbling, gets it to Keegan. Keegan gets it back to Nick in the corner there. Nick tries to dribble around Bennett. Bennett's really putting a lot of body on him, but no call. Nick just goes up over Bennett. Bennett's about 5'11", not sure why he's guarding Nick. Lisbon gets the ball down the floor, and another sub, Aiden Hansen, comes in and shoots the ball. He misses, and now the Wildcats are in the front court. Ethan Ty gets it to Nick. Nick's about 3 feet behind the three-point line, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Ethan Ty, no good. Lisbon comes down with the rebound. Tyler Scott gets it into the front court, gets it over to Allison. Allison squares up and looks, gets it to Hansen. He bodies inside. Will Bennett's going to look, nope, over to Tyson Scott. I'm sorry, Tyler Scott. He gets it down to Aiden Hansen, who goes up, and Nick swats it. That's Nick's third block. Ethan Ty's coming out. David Warrington's checking in. So with 3:50 left, it's 14-27. Wildcats up. The Becker's back in. He went out for a little quick breather. No, shot's no good. Nick Reed comes down with the rebound. No advantage, so Nick's going to just bring it up, and then he attacks, goes right by Becker and lays it in. Unofficially, I have Nick at 13 points. Ethan Ty's chipping in. He's got 8 points, so that's nice to see from Ethan here. So we got 3:36 left. It's 14-29. I'm going to give a shout out here to Next Bank. Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned, independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So we've got a timeout right now. And again, 3:36 left in the second quarter. And Wildcats are up 29-14. Pretty entertaining game, a lot of up and down. A lot of action. Wildcats are starting to pull away here. So after the timeout, Wildcats will be in their full court press. Lions are going to be taking it out underneath the basket there. Becker's got the ball, is being defended by 2 Wildcats. Picks up his dribble, gets it in, up the floor to Bennett. Bennett gets it to Hansen, and Hansen misses the layup. Nick Reed cleans up the rebound, and we're going to come back here to the Wildcats end. Wildcats, Nick Reed at the top of the key, gives it to Keegan. Looks like maybe a box and one. And Trey Orcutt has the ball. He's going to give it to Nick here at the top. Nick's got the ball. So again, just one person on Nick. Nick passes it over to Patrick Wade. Patrick Wade looking, gets it to Keegan. Keegan gets it to Nick at the elbow. And the ball is tipped as it's trying to get past to Warrington, so it's a turnover. Becker's going to come back the other way. He attacks the basket, picks his dribble up, gets it to Allison at the elbow. The shot goes up, hits off the rim. Hayden Hansen with the rebound and put back. So there's 2 points for the Lions. And right now, again, there's 3 guys up. Now it's a 3-on-2. We're not able to take advantage of that break. And so the Wildcats are going to set it up in their half court. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Nick's got the ball at the top of the basket. Or I'm sorry, top of the circle here. Gives it to Trey Orcutt. Orcutt's got the ball. He dribbles around. Nice bounce pass to Keegan. Keegan gets it back out. Kind of a lazy pass to Nick's, not able to do anything. He spins, lays it off the glass, no good. Kick out to Bennett. Keegan does a great job of hustling back. Hansen goes up and misses the layup. Trey Orcutt with the rebound. So Lisbon's out of their press. They're just coming back and playing defense. And Coach Carlson with 1:45 is going to take a timeout here. I'm not sure if they're going to draw something up. They're either in a box or in one or a straight 2-3. Lisbon switched up their D from what they had earlier on. So it's 29-16 with 1:45 left. A lot of up and down going on. Nick's probably caused a couple misses on the Lions end just from being there, and not after. He's at least got 3 blocks that I know, pretty significant blocks. And so I think he's in the head of some of the Lions as they go up for some of those shots, and they're rushing it. So that's good for the Wildcats. 16-29, we're coming out of the timeout. Carlson drew something up for the Wildcats. I doubt if we'll hold for the last shot, but we're going to see what we can do here. There's a pick by Wade, and Nick's going to drive down the middle of the lane and throws up a little runner. So nice pick there by Patrick to open things up. Wildcats are doing their full court press. There's a lob, nice lob into Niemeyer for 2 points. And again, there's 3 guys up. There's Nick to Keegan. Keegan gets the ball tipped, but Ethan Ty tracks it down, and then Ethan's going to pass it, cross-court pass, but it's deflected, but David Warrington saves it, so nice hustle by David. The Wildcats were looking in the right places, but the Lions just deflected. Keegan Kula thinks about it, cross-court pass to Nick. Nick pulls up at the elbow and knocks down the 2-pointer. Give the assist to Kula there. So it's 33 to 18. We're just under a minute. Steal by Nick. We got an advantage. Nick's going to go and take it to the baseline and pull up for 2 more points. And now there's a pass up to half court, Will Bennett, but there's no advantage for the Lions. They get it to Becker. Becker, it falls down, and Keegan Kula and Patrick Wade both go in, and they're going to call a jump ball there. And that's going to stay here with the Lions. So with 28 seconds left, it's 35 to 18. And the Lions are going to take the ball out of bounds. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess there was some confusion. It's going to be Wildcat basketball. Lions thought it was their ball, and so did I. So Wildcats have the ball. Nick gets it up to Ethan Ty, gets it into the front court to Keegan Kula, back to Ethan. There's 18 seconds left in the second quarter. Patrick Wade's got the ball. Wildcats are going to probably try to go for the final shot. We got a 3-pointer right at the end of the first quarter from Ethan Ty. So now there's 6 seconds. Nick's got the ball, picked by Patrick Wade. Nick's going to take a dribble to the left and shoots the 3, and it rims in and out. So nothing there going right before the buzzer. So at halftime, we've got 18 to 35 Wildcats. Great second quarter there by the Wildcats. Unofficially, just kind of keeping score here and looking at the board up there. I've got Nick with 19 points in the first half. And I think Ethan Ty's got 8 points in the first half. So great job by Nick and Ethan there. So exciting first half, a lot of up and down. That's for sure. Some missed baskets and missed opportunities by both teams. It's been entertaining. More entertaining, I guess, if you're a Wildcat fan, since we're up 35 to 18. I should have been keeping track of Becker, but I haven't. I know he's maybe knocked down maybe 2 baskets, so their leading scorer coming into tonight's game. Cole Becker averaging almost 16 points a game. Pretty sure he has maybe 4. And so the Wildcats are really doing a nice job, doing a little bit of full court. We've given up the long pass a few times, but there's been a lot of good hustle and getting back and contesting the shots at least. Maybe they're not. The Lions have had a couple good looks, and again, their coach is probably going to be disappointed in some of the misses that they've had. We'll see. Again, it was hard to tell, but I think that they were either in a straight 2-3 zone that Lisbon switched to that, or maybe a box and one. I'm not sure. And then they were playing kind of straight up man-to-man in the first quarter, so we'll see what the Lions have tried. A couple different things. We'll see what they do when they come out here the second half. Wildcats have pretty much either done a 2-3 zone out of that full court press, drop back into a 2-3 zone a little bit, or they've been just pretty much playing straight up man-to-man. I think a couple times down they maybe I guess they did start the game a little bit in a box and one on Becker, but I think they're kind of out of that. They've been playing really good team defense, and Becker hasn't been able to get off too many shots even, so hopefully that continues as we progress in here into the second half. So 7:20 to go in the halftime. Just as a recap, I'm Cindy McCarthy. I'm going solo tonight, so hopefully you're not too tired of listening to me here. The night got started off with the JV girls at 4:30 playing, and they got a victory tonight, and then followed by the JV boys. And unfortunately, the boys came up a little short. I should say a lot short. They got beat by about 20 points. And then varsity girls played, and they got a win tonight. The final score for the varsity girls was 43 to 31, led by Sarah Reed, who had a career high of 21 points. And so that's their second win of the year. So they're now 2-3 on the season. And then We're at halftime right now of the boys' game, and the Central City Wildcat boys are up 35-18. Wildcat boys come in here with an undefeated record. They're 3-0. And Lisbon came into tonight's game with a 1-2 record. We have no common opponents with the guys, so we can't do any comparisons. But basically, we're up 18-35. If we just are smart, play smart basketball like we did the first half, hopefully we can get through this second half and come away with a victory. On Friday, I mentioned that the Wildcats will be traveling to Easton Valley, and I didn't look at any standings or anything before tonight's game, but so I really don't know anything about Easton Valley. I do think that their guys have a really good team. Somebody was telling me that thanks, Keith. I hope you're not too bored listening to me here. Easton Valley, I believe, almost made it to state last year, or they may have made it to the first round of state. So if I remember, Ratliff was telling me this last Friday, and that they have potentially almost everybody back. So it's going to be a really big challenge for the Wildcats, and it's going to be on the road at Easton Valley. So it's going to be a good contest and a good measuring stick for the Wildcats just to see how they stack up with some other 1A competition. So if you're, and I'm not going to be able to make it to that game on Friday, so unfortunately we won't have a broadcast for you. And then the following week we don't play Tuesday, and again then we'll be back on air with our YouTube, with our Wildcat Sports channel, and we'll be home against Midland on Thursday. That's not this Thursday, it's next Thursday, and then on the 19th, and then on the 20th, the last game before Christmas break will be at Alburnett. Now, I know Alburnett made it to state last year also, but I'm pretty sure they had a lot of seniors, so we'll see if see how that goes with Alburnett. And last year, actually, when we were at home, we upset Alburnett. And then at Alburnett, they were able to beat us. So that's kind of just a rundown of what's coming up here next for the Wildcats. Hopefully the girls and the boys can keep the winning going and go into Christmas break on a high note. So we'll see how that plays out. So we've got 3.5 minutes left. Wildcat guys are coming out onto the floor. Going to probably talk a little bit about maybe any defensive changes that they may have wanted to make. They played pretty solid defense, I thought. Rebounded pretty well. Gave up a couple offensive rebounds, but sometimes that'll happen out of a zone, and we're pressing. So, but overall, I think the Wildcats did a pretty good job. Maybe forced just a couple passes. Make sure you can guarantee, so not bad there either. 2.5 minutes to go, and Lisbon hasn't come back out yet. Lisbon has tried to cut several different defenses, so we'll see how they attack it. They did press for almost the whole first. They did for the whole first quarter and probably about a good chunk of the second quarter. And then they finally took that off right there at the end, so it'll be interesting to see if they come back out with that full court press, if they think that they can slow our guards down or try to get some steals. So we'll see what kind of adjustments the Lions make, if any, when we get started here in the third quarter. So two minutes to go, 18-35. If you're just joining me, I'm going to give another shout out to Next Bank. I guess since I have a minute here, I usually like to try to do this. For our regular listeners, you've probably heard this. And for if any new listeners are out there, Next Bank is our sole sponsor for the Wildcat Sports channel. And they do more than just sponsor this for our school. They really support us in a lot of different ways, and I've mentioned this before. They make donations to the PTO's Children in Need Fund. They provide lunch for the teachers, usually twice a year, at the beginning and at the end of the year. They do all of the typesetting and printing of our all of our programs for all of our sports: volleyball, football, basketball, wrestling, and track. They help sponsor with the. They help with the homecoming parade. They help with post-prom, fine arts boosters, robotics teams. They make contributions to all those programs. They have a sign up on the Wildcat baseball field because they help sponsor the baseball program and the yearbook as well. So, and there's probably some other things that they do that I don't have written down. So I always like to try to take an opportunity each game to just recognize all the things that Next Bank does besides just the sole sponsor for the Wildcat Sports Channel. So we're getting ready here to tip off the second half. It looks like the Wildcats are going to go with their same starters, and it also looks like the Lions are going to have their same starters. So the Lions are going to have Tyson Scott and McLean Allison, Tyler Scott, Cole Becker, and Hunter Niemeyer. And then the Wildcats have Nick Reed, Keegan Kula, Ethan Ty, Trey Orcutt, and Patrick Wade out there. And the Lions are going to start the second half with the ball. And Allison's going to bring it up. And he gets it inside to Scott. And he kicks it out to his brother. And his brother takes it in and pump fakes and draws a foul by Ethan Ty. Ethan kind of took the bait on that pump fake, so Tyler Scott's going to go to the free throw line. Tyler's a sophomore. He misses his first shot, and his brother Tyson, or cousin, I don't know, I shouldn't say they're brothers, I'm guessing maybe they're, I don't know if they're related or not because they don't have the same body types, but they're both sophomores. So my guess is they're related somehow. So he missed both of his free throws, and Wildcats have the ball. Lisbon does go back to that full court press. Wildcats break it, get it up into the front court. Patrick Wade's got the ball. Nobody's defending him. He looks. Keegan looks. He finds Ethan Ty. Ethan Ty with the shot, miss. Trey Orcutt with the offensive rebound, gets it to Keegan Kula. Keegan kicks it out, passes it over Patrick Wade's head, but Nick Reed tracks it down. Nick gets to Patrick. Patrick to Keegan. Keegan looks, decides not to do anything. Nick cuts to the basket and is deflected by the Lions. And Allison's going to get the steal and take it coast to coast for the 2 points and the first points of the second half. So it's 20-35. Patrick Wade dribbles all the way, takes it up, and finishes it at the hoop for two. That's a nice move by Patrick Wade. And we come back the other way, and they get it inside to Scott, and he clears out Nick Reed. But they're going to call Nick for the foul. Wow. I thought that looked like that could have been an offensive foul. He kind of used his body. That's Tyson Scott and backed Nick Reed out, but they call that on Nick. So they get it inside to Niemeyer. Now they're going to call that on Keegan Kula. All of a sudden now they're calling a lot of touch fouls, and that's going to be the third foul already for the Wildcats in the second half. And we're at 6:40 to play in the third quarter. So there's Becker, dribbles in, kicks it out to Allison. Allison dribbles, spins, dumps it down to Niemeyer. Deflected out of bounds by Reed. It'll stay down here, Lions ball. Tyler Scott's going to throw it in. And he gets it into Becker. Becker's checking things out. He cross-court pass to Scott. Scott dribbles, spins, and pulls up for the shot. Miss. Nick Reed with the board. Nick's going to go. And he's going to dribble behind his back. Gets it over to Patrick Wade. Down the corner to Ethan Ty. And Ethan Ty knocks down the three-pointer. Nice job, Ethan Ty. Good look. Way to move the ball around and find the open person there. So now Lisbon comes back in. Cole Becker gets it in the front court. Doesn't want to shoot it. Then he acts like he's going to shoot it, and Niemeyer thought he was going to shoot it and was trying to get in position, and Becker was going to pass, and so turned into a steal for the Wildcats, and now there's foul. I believe they called that on Tyler Scott. That's going to be Tyler's second foul. We're at 5:49 left in the third quarter. It's 20-40. Wildcats are up. Patrick Wade with the ball in the front court, looking around. Keegan Kula at the top of the key, over to Orcutt, hits Ethan Ty on the baseline there in the corner. I thought he'd take a shot, but he didn't. Instead, he kicks it to Keegan Kula, and he hits over to Patrick Wade, and Patrick hits the three-pointer. So he hit that from the right wing. Lisbon gets it up quick into the front court. Niemeyer with the shot. There's 2 points for Niemeyer. And Lions take the press off, so Orcutt's going to get it into the front court. There's Patrick Wade, same spot, same shot, but it doesn't fall this time. Probably two open. Tyler Scott's going to get it into the front court, gets it to Becker. Becker dribbles baseline, takes it, and he knocks it in. Wildcats are going to come right back at him. Trey Orcutt comes up. He dribbles, gets it to Patrick Wade at the top of the key. Ethan Ty on the left baseline, and Ethan Ty misses his three-point. Nice-looking shot, just couldn't get it to drop. Tyler Scott with the rebound. Gets it to Becker. Becker gets it into the front court to Allison. Allison's going to pull up for a little runner, and he misses, and it's knocked out of bounds by Niemeyer, so it'll come back Wildcats basketball. 43-24 with 4:31 left in the third quarter. Patrick Wade gets it into Trey Orcutt. Trey Orcutt's going to get it up into the front court for the Wildcats. He gets it over to Ethan Ty. Ethan Ty hits Nick, but they're going to call Nick. Wow. They're going to call Nick for an offensive foul on the. He was cutting underneath the basket, and 24 kind of slid out. I didn't think 24 was set. 24, Tyler Scott, but Tyler Scott fell down, and they said Nick knocked him down. So there's Nick's second foul. Now Tyler Scott's dribbling through people, and Allison goes up for the shot, or no, that's Tyson Scott goes up, and his shot is blocked from behind by Nick Reed. Lions wanted a foul on that, but I thought it was a pretty clean block. So the Wildcats have it in the front court. They're setting some screens for Nick here. It looks like a triangle and two or a box and one on Nick. Ethan Ty gets it to Keegan in the baseline, and the back to Ethan Ty. Ethan Ty shoots up three, misses. Becker with the rebound, long pass to Allison, and he passes it, knocked out of his hand, and then he gets it to Scott. Tyson Scott knocks it down. So it's going to be 26-43 with 3:31 left. Wildcats have some open looks. They just need to get them to drop. It looks like the defense that they've changed to. I'm not sure if it's a triangle tune or a box and one, but it's one of those junk defenses. And so it's going to be 26-43. And timeout by Carlson, 3:31. Next Bank, each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so Ethan Ty and Nick are in double figures, and Patrick Wade's got 7. So hopefully Ethan can get hot again and knock down some of those threes. He's getting some open looks, as is Patrick Wade, because they are doing, it looks like a triangle and two on Nick. So Ethan looks, he doesn't have anything, gets Patrick Wade, Patrick back to Ethan, gets it to Trey Orcutt at the top of the key. Trey's just holding it, and gets it back over to Ethan Ty. Ethan's dribbling, looking around. He gets it back out to Trey Orcutt. Trey's holding it, ball fakes, and we're just kind of at a stalemate here. Oh, nice pass by Trey over to Ethan. And then Ethan finds the open Patrick Wade down in the corner there for the layup. Nice job, Wildcats. So we've got Scott, takes it in against Nick. No good. Rebound by Trey Orcutt. He gets it up to Patrick Wade, and Patrick takes it all the way and gets a layup. So there's 2 quick baskets by Patrick. And there's a steal by Ethan Ty. He gets it to Trey Orcutt, and then Trey Orcutt gets 2 points. Nice flurry of baskets there by the Wildcats. And now, here we go again with the they called that on Ethan Ty. I did not see that foul, not gonna lie, so I guess I can't say anything. So just like that, it's 49-26 with 2:20 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats are just playing straight up man-to-man. Marshall Vandevet has checked in, as well as David Warrington. Wildcats are, I think, just pretty much playing man-to-man. Niemeyer travels. He's got his back to the basket, being defended by Nick Reed. It's going to be a travel there. And Wildcats are going to bring it up here. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, 49-26. Trey Orcutt gets it in the front court, and he passes it over to Marshall. Almost goes out of bounds, but Marshall keeps it. Marshall dribbles between a double team, gets it over to Patrick Wade. Patrick up to Trey. Trey's looking around, being defended. They kick it out to Patrick on the left baseline. He dribbles. He's going to attack the basket. Then he kicks it back out to Marshall. Marshall's going to attack the basket, and kind of a crazy shot. Not necessarily the shot we wanted there. But fortunately for the Wildcats, it gets knocked out of bounds by the Lions on the rebound. So Patrick Wade's going to throw it in here. Wildcats get into a box set. They get it into Nick. Nick looks, dumps it down to David Warrington. David posting up, and David travels. So traveling turnovers here, back to back. So now the Wildcats are in their full court press. They get it into Bennett. Bennett gets to Becker, back to Bennett. Bennett gets into the front court. Bennett passes it over to Harrer. Just checked in, back to Becker. Becker drives on Patrick Wade and pulls up at the elbow. Wade reaches, and it's going to be a foul on the floor. So that's the 6th team foul on the Wildcats with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. All right, on the inbounds pass, Trey deflects it and gets the steal, and then as he turns to go, he's followed by Will Bennett, so that's only the 2nd team foul for the Lions with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. So it's now Will Bennett picks Trey Orcutt's pocket and gets a layup. So those two have stolen the ball from each other. Now Patrick Wade's got it, gets it into the front court. And we've got 1 minute. Patrick Wade's dribbling, gets it to Marshall Vandevet. Marshall gets it to Trey Orcutt, who gets it to Nick Reed. Nick's at the top of the key. Nobody's defending him. He gets it down to Marshall. Marshall bounce passes it into. They're going to call 3 seconds now, I think, on David. We had good ball movement, just kind of a little mishandle, and there was either a travel or a 3 seconds. So Lions, there's a steal, another steal by Trey Orcutt, and he gets it to Patrick Wade. Patrick gets it to cutting Nick Reed, who goes up for the shot and is fouled. And so Nick's going to go to the free throw line here with 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Nick's going to go to the free throw line, and his first free throw is up and good. And the second shot's going to go up, and it is also good. So Nick knocks down 2 free throws there. Wildcats are still in their full court press. Lions here. Harrier gets it over. Marshall's going to be called. Silly foul. Kind of out of control, the dribbler was, and so was Marshall, and he kind of reached. So silly foul. That's going to now, unfortunately for the Wildcats, that just put the Lions at the bonus. And again, we're still just at the end of the third quarter. So for the whole fourth quarter, whenever the Wildcats foul, that's going to put the Lions at the free throw line. There's the miss, but it's an offensive rebound by the Lions, and then they get a three-point look, but it's no good, and Nick Reed comes down with the free throw, and we're going to get Nick into the front court, and he gets it to Trey Orcutt, and Will Bennett's all over Nick and then all over Trey, so that's going to be Bennett's second foul, I believe, and that's the fourth team foul now on the Lions. We've got 11 seconds, and we'll see if the Wildcats can get off a shot. Niemeyer knocks it out of bounds. Should be out of bounds down there where it got knocked out of bounds, so Trey Orcutt's going to pass it in again. It's kind of in an odd spot to pass it in, but they do get it into Nick. Nick's got two guys on him. There's 6 seconds, 5. Nick pulls up for a long three, hits the front of the rim, no go. So that's going to be the end of the third quarter, and the Wildcats are going to be up 51-28. 51-28 there after 3 quarters. So Wildcats came out and had a decent third quarter there, and held the Lions to 10 points. So as we head into the fourth quarter, we've got Nick. The board has him with 25, and they have Patrick Wade with the 11, and I think Ethan Ty also has 11. So we've got 3 Wildcats in double figures, and that's really nice to see. That we're getting, so Nick's getting some scoring support, and those guys have had some really good looks, and they've knocked down some really good shots, and they just have to keep at it. They're going to get those looks as the teams continue to do junk defenses against Nick. So the Wildcats are going to actually start this fourth quarter with the ball. And Patrick Wade's going to go ahead and pass it in, it looks like. For the Wildcats, it's going to be Patrick Wade, Trey Orcutt, David Warrington, Marshall Vandevet, and Nick Reed on the floor to start the fourth quarter. And there's going to be a foul on Bennett, and that's going to be his third foul. He was defending Nick as Nick was trying to post up, so that's just the fifth team foul. Okay, that's what I thought. 5th team foul for the Lions, 3 on Bennett, and he stays in. And there's a pass from the out of bounds to Marshall. Had a good look at the 3 points, but he just couldn't get the ball to drop, so the Lions get the rebound. Becker's going to bring it up into the front court, and he gets it up to a new player who's checked in, Nolan Reiling. He misses the 3-pointer, and the Wildcats get the rebound. Nick's going to bring the ball up into the front court. He dribbles down to the right baseline, going around. Bennett is defending Nick. Nick kind of tripped up, but he was able to keep his dribble. Marshall's going to drive, kicks it out to Ethan Ty on the wing. Ethan thinks about it, but he had Niemeyer right there. Trey Orcutt's got it at the top of the key, gets it back to Ethan Ty. Ethan's going to step up, and he's going to try to dribble, but no go. Keeps his dribble, resets. He's at the top of the key there. He dribbles down the middle, and he's going to go ahead and, I thought that was a good move, but they're going to call him. He kind of slipped a little bit, and they're going to call him for traveling. Trey Orcutt's coming out. Trey's had a nice game tonight. Keegan Kula's going to check in. We're at 6:59, 51-28. Lions are going to pass it in. And Harrer gets it over to Bennett. Bennett gets it up into the front court. Picks up his dribble. And he does a cross-court pass to Harrer. Harrer's dribbling the ball around. And he gets it to Bennett. Bennett gets it down to Becker. Becker turns, gets it into Niemeyer, who's posting up Nick. does a crossover and is partially blocked by Nick, and Nick gets the rebound. So nice little move by Niemeyer, but he just couldn't get it over Nick. Nick's tall and he's got long arms. So there's several guys are slipping out there, so I don't know if the floor's getting slick or what's going on. All I know is it's very chilly in here. Sitting up here, it's cold outside and it's cold in the gym. So they're going to call foul there on Bennett. That's his, if I caught that right, yep, that's Bennett's 4th foul. That's going to be the 6th team foul on the Lions. Marshall Vandervet's going to pass it in. He gets it into Ethan Ty. Ethan Ty checks things out, gives it over to Marshall. Marshall's going to dribble to the middle of the floor, gets it over to Ethan Ty. Ethan dribbles around Keegan's screen, nothing there. Get it back to Keegan, and Keegan gets it inside to Nick, and Nick's turn around and drops down 2-point shot. Wildcats still in their press. Harr gets it over to Tyler Scott, who's checked back in. Tyler dribbles through, and I don't know, I thought that was travel, but they're going to call Ethan Ty with the block. I guess I missed that. Looked down for a second. Now Ethan's got 4 fouls. So, no, I thought that was going to be on Keegan, but they called it on Ethan. Ethan comes out. He's got 4 fouls. He's had a nice game. He's got 11 points, and that's going to put Tyler Scott to the free throw line. As I mentioned, now every time the Wildcats foul, it's going to be a free throw. And they just called a free throw violation on White, so Tyler Scott actually made the free throw, and now they're going to pull it off the board there because there was a free throw violation. So Wildcats get the ball. Now they're coming up full court man. Trey Orcutt's going to dribble, get it into the front court. Not sure what 30's doing, but looked like he was trying to foul. I don't know that they want to do the foul game already. Nick's got the ball dribbling. He takes it in around Tyler Scott, lays it in with his left hand. Tyler Scott's going to come back the other way. He gets it down to the wing, and it's the second time tonight that we've had people shoot the ball and it just gets stuck right in the craw of the basket. Nick goes up and knocks it out that time. That was Nolan Reiling with the shot for the Lions. So it's 28-55. Lions are going to keep the ball. Ball gets passed in. Bennett's got it. They get it to Reiling again. He launches a 3, no good. He's going to get his own rebound. And this time it's not. It's tipped by Keegan, and it goes into Will Bennett and hits Bennett in the nose and off his hand and goes out of bounds. So the Wildcats are going to get the ball back here. 5:17 to go, 28-55, and that almost has to be an intentional foul, but they're not going to call it. So that's a foul on Tyler Scott. That's the 7th team foul. That's Scott's third foul, and Trey Orcutt's going to go to the free throw line. So with 5:15 left to go, it's 55-28. And Trey gets his first free throw to drop. Nice shot by Trey Orcutt there. Trey's second shot is up, no good, rebounded by Becker. Becker's going to look. He's bringing the ball up himself, gets it up to Tyler Scott, who lets it fly. Will Bennett on the offensive rebound. He takes it and throws it up. Nick comes down with the rebound. I think Bennett was in the land of the Giants and thought he was going to draw a foul, and nothing was called. Nick's got the ball in the front court, dribbling it. He gets it to Marshall on the baseline there on the right-hand side. Marshall dribbles, gets it to the top of the key to Trey Orcutt. Trey gets it to Nick on the right wing. Keegan's going to set a pick for Trey. Or I'm sorry, for Nick. Nick then dribbles over there and gets it to David Warrington in the baseline on the left-hand side. David just hits the front of the rim on his three-point shot. Comes up short. Lisbon with the rebound, gets it into the front court. They get it to Reiling. Reiling dribbles, passes it to Tyler Scott, who knocks it down. So that's a 30-56 with 4:16 left in the fourth quarter. Wildcats up. Trey Orcutt dribbling it and kicks it to Marshall Vandervet, who shoots an air ball. Rebounded by Becker. Becker's going to bring it all the way in, and then he thinks about it, doesn't shoot, and Tyler Scott takes it up. Nick lets him shoot the ball, and he misses. So Nick gets the rebound, 3:50 to go. Wildcats up by 26 points, and they're just going to call a foul right there on 30, Nolan Reiling. And that's his second foul. That's going to be 8-team foul now for the Lions. So now the Wildcats are in the double bonus. We've got Ethan Ty checking in for David Warrington. Trey Orcutt's going to go to the free throw line. He just knocked down 2 a minute ago. See if he can get 2 more for the Wildcats. And he misses the first one. Oh, I guess it's not double bonus. It's just regular bonus, 1 and 1, my bad. So both teams with 18 fouls. There goes Allison. He takes it in, misses the layup. Nick Reed with the rebound. Lions are just going back in, playing half-court defense. Nick brings it into the front court, dribbles it around. He's on the left-hand side there on the wing. And Logan Hall knocks the ball out of bounds. It'll be Wildcats' ball. Trey Orcutt's going to take it out of bounds. And he gets it to Trey's to make a long cross-court pass to Patrick Wade, and it's stolen by Tyler Scott, who takes it in for the layup. So it's 32-56 with 3:15 left. And there's going to be a foul on about the third time. Logan Hall, 5'8", guarding Nick Reed in the post, just put his elbow right in Nick's back. They call him for the foul. That's going to be the 9th team foul. Nick's going to go to the free throw line. Nick misses his first shot, rebounded by Becker. Hall's going to bring the ball up. Wildcats are in man-to-man. And there's Reiling kind of forcing his way in, puts his shoulder down, throws up the shot, goes out of bounds, doesn't hit anything. And it was last touched by the Wildcats, goes out of bounds. So the Wildcats are going to, I'm sorry, Lions are going to get the ball back. They'll have the ball out underneath their own basket. And there's a 30-second timeout. So with 2:57 left in the game, it's 56-32 Wildcats. I think the Lions are just going to let Nick post up, and then they're just going to put some little guys on him and hack him. So need to kind of watch that a little bit here. Don't want anybody to get hurt. So Wildcats have Keegan Kula, Patrick Wade, Ethan Ty, Nick Reed, and Trey Orcutt out on the floor for this last 2:57. And the Lions are going to go ahead and go on the baseline. They've got four across. They get it into Hall. Hall brings it to the top of the key there, dribbles around, gives it to Becker. Becker's checking things out. Whoa, and he throws an elbow and hits Patrick Wade. And there is no call, and Becker knocks that shot down. Wow, I didn't think you could lead with the elbow, and he made contact, so. And there's the foul. Long cross-court pass, and Patrick came to meet it, and they are going to get Becker for the foul on that one. So Patrick's going to go to the free throw line, and that's going to be Lisbon's 10th team foul. So now Patrick is in the double bonus, and so Patrick's going to get 2 looks here. So hopefully he can knock a couple of these down. He's had a good night tonight. He misses that first one. Gets another shot. Patrick's going to go up with his second free throw and just misses it, rims in and out. So no Wildcats there to rebound, so the Lions get the rebound, come up into the front court. We got Hall. Hall dribbles to the baseline and throws it up. Air ball. Nick Reed comes down with the rebound. Nick's going to just bring it up the floor here. and he gets it to Ethan Ty. Ethan's being defended by Allison. He dumps it down to Keegan. Keegan gets it inside to Nick. Nick goes up for 2 more points. And Becker brings it into the front court. Dribbling it, gets it over to Har. He gets it over to Scott. Scott's going to dribble in and gets the ball knocked away. And then I believe they're going to call Ethan for the foul. Ethan kind of got caught up, and Scott dribbled in, and then he kind of came back right into Ethan's face, and they're going to call Ethan with the foul there. So unfortunately, Ethan's going to foul out. But Ethan had a really nice shooting night. He knocked down 3 3-pointers. He had 11 points on the night, so it was nice to see him getting double figures. As we talked about this at the beginning of the game and kind of coming into the season, that the Wildcats were going to need to have people who could step up and help Nick. And tonight we've got, right now Nick's at 31, and Ethan's going to foul out with 11, and then we've got Patrick Wade, who also has 11 points on the night. So three Wildcats in double figures, so that's really nice to see. That'll really makes a big difference. There's a nice pass, and there's going to be a nice pass. Nick penetrated in and hit David Warrington, and David goes up for the shot, and it's going to be an intentional foul. They grabbed David, and as he was going up, I'm not sure who they called that foul on, but they just wrapped their arms right around David, and everybody's okay, nobody's hurt. So David's going to shoot 2 free throws. Nobody's at the free throw line with him, and his first one's up and good. Nice stroke there by David. That looked nice. David's going to have a second shot, and I'm guessing maybe we get the ball back here. Yeah, David knocks it in, and we're going to have some subs coming in here. It looks like Marshall and Dustin Ferris, Lucas Greif, and Draven Silver are all checking in. Trey Orcutt's going to stay out on the floor for the Wildcats. So with 1:24 left, it's 35-60. Wildcats are up. Lucas Greif has the ball, freshman. He's in the corner. Whoa. He threw it off of Marshall's face. But before that, they're going to call foul on. Looks like they call the foul on Will Bennett, and Bennett's going to follow out. So it looks like Marshall couldn't catch it because he was being fouled. So he's going to go to the free throw line. So with 1:19 left, 60-35, Marshall Vandevet goes up, knocks down his first free throw. Marshall with the second is good. So the Wildcats are just going to get back and play tough defense. Becker's going to bring the ball up, gets it to Scott. Scott gets it down inside to Hansen, I think that was, and he mishandles the ball. So there's a turnover. The Wildcats are going to have the ball in the front court. Trey Orcutt is dribbling. Trey's had a nice night tonight, handling the ball and making some good decisions with that. Draven Silver over to Marshall. Back to Trey Orcutt up in the corner by the half-court line, being pressured by Becker. He picks the dribble up, but Marshall comes around and gets the ball. Marshall's not being guarded. Now Scott comes out to guard Marshall. There's 30 seconds left. Marshall goes and dribbles into the free throw lane and then dribbles back out. Lisbon's not going to foul anymore, so they're just going to let the clock know. I guess Scott's going to come out and closely guard him, and then Marshall gives it up to Draven Silver. Not sure that this is who Coach wants handling the ball at the end of the game. He gets it over to Lucas Greif. Lucas picks up his dribble, gets it to Marshall. Marshall spins, and he just dribbling around, being defended by Tyler Scott. We've got 6 seconds now. The Lions are just going to pull it off, and that is the ball game. So it's 62. I believe it was, they got the score off of there awful fast. 62-35 is the final score. So Wildcats come away with the big win against the Lions and improve their record to 4-0. So just a quick recap as far as the way tonight went. Owen Hall and Keith Knight, thanks for listening. Cody and all you other Wildcat fans that were out there listening, hopefully you enjoyed the game. Wildcats had a good night tonight at Lisbon. JV girls started off with a win. The JV boys unfortunately got beat, and then the varsity girls got their second win of the season, 43-31, and then the guys, boys varsity stays undefeated. They're now 4-0 with a 62-35 win. Nick Reed led the way with 31 points, and Ethan Ty and Patrick Wade both contributed 11 points. So that's 3 boy Wildcats in double figures. We like to see that. And I should mention for the girls, they were led in scoring by Sarah Reed with 21 points, and that was her career high tonight. So congratulations to all the Wildcat teams as they competed hard tonight, and we came away with quite a few victories. So we like to see that. So I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I just want to thank everybody who listened in tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. Saw a lot of good things from the Wildcats. As I mentioned, the next Wildcat Sports broadcast is going to be Thursday, December 19th, when the Wildcats host the Midland Eagles. It'll be, again, a varsity girl-boy doubleheader, and the varsity girls will tip that game off at 6 o'clock. So that's next Thursday, December 19th is the next time that the Wildcat Sports broadcast will be on air. But all the teams, the basketball high school teams, will be traveling to Easton Valley on Friday. And so we wish them the best of luck as they head out on the road Friday night for that competition. So thanks again for listening, and go Cats.